I'm spoiling you guys today with better bit rate. A little bit better. Oh crap, I made it. There we go. Hold on. Open forum, absolutely, dude. That's how I'm feeling today, you know what I mean? But yeah, we got better bit rate on the YouTube side. Bro, on the YouTube side, we got 1080p now. I totally did not realize until the other day that I did not run 1080p on YouTube. Whoops. That's my bad. Blessings, Mia. Thank you. That's not how you're feeling. That's how the church fathers cut feeling. What? I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, the quality is crisp, man.
Better?
Yeah, it's looking good.
I got a new PC today, man.
Heck yeah, bro.
What kind of PC did you get?
I got a PC from CyberPower, actually. It's got an RTX 5080 in it. It's got an i9 14700K processor in it. 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM.
That's it?
2.5 terabytes. 2.5 terabytes SSD.
That's it?
That's all it's needed. That rage bait ain't gonna work on me today, man. I had a great day.
Yeah, because Monday's my birthday. I bought myself a new phone. New phone, who this?
You bought yourself something for your birthday?
Yeah, I had an iPhone 11. Now I got an iPhone 15.
What was that face?
What are you talking about?
Nah, I didn't see anything.
New phone, who this, everybody?
Yeah, dude.
Unknown caller ID, who this? Oh shit, it's Bryce J's fucked up hairline. I'm sorry.
You just had to figure out a way to get it in, dude.
I did. I couldn't let you make that face twice. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on
Oh,
me.
Dion, let me pull up. Let me pull up and give you a birthday beating.
That didn't sound right, bro. I don't want you to.
You didn't get your birthday spankings, man?
My birthday is Monday. It's Saturday.
Oh, so it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Sunday.
What phone did you
Job
get
at
again?
Monday. I'm beating your
Oh
ass.
shit. Well, I guess we're waiting.
What phone did you get, Dion?
I had an iPhone 11. Now I have an iPhone 15.
So you're only 2 generations behind now?
Well, yeah, but when it's December, it's gonna be 3.
What the hell, man? Why didn't you just get the newest phone?
Probably because I don't have money for that, Bryce Jameson. Maybe you should buy it for me.
Why would I do that?
Oh, okay. Then don't complain.
I'm not complaining. I'm just asking why you didn't do something.
Bryce
That's
J,
why. That's why I didn't do it, Bryce J.
Yeah,
Why are
he's
you, Bryce J, not in Turkey right now?
Why am I not
Getting
in
that
Turkey?
fixed up.
Turkey's kind of messed up right now, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
Hold on 1 second. I hear a child yelling my name.
Wait, so
outside
you're
my
saying you don't want to go and commemorate our father and patriarch Bartholomew?
Ooh, couldn't be me. Even I do that, and I'm Catholic.
So true. We love Bartholomew.
Big B.
Dion TikTok's been banging recently. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm kind
Yo,
of that
why
guy.
is Mia in the comments? Yo, somebody get her out of here. All right, thank you.
Kind of that guy. Who's this Isaiah guy? Are you like new?
No, I've been in these lives in and out, man.
Who are you?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Has that always been your name, Isaiah?
No, I've just been Isaiah. I've been in like 4 or 5.
What episode are we on, bro?
What episode? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, bro.
you're kind of
This is
behind
like
the season.
we're on the fifth. We're on like the 5th or 6th season right now. Can't lie.
Yeah, bro. Like this
Yeah,
guy's a
man.
newbie. Like what?
Yeah, bro, we don't know you. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Here,
bro.
Bryce,
We've been
you
here
gotta
since
explain
season
to
1,
them.
bro. Who's this guy?
You gotta explain to them their
Yo,
fraud.
Bryce, how'd you meet this guy, bro?
They're fraud watching me.
Maybe.
Isaiah, how'd you meet him?
TikTok.
When?
Yeah, they're
What do you mean when? I don't know.
Like what time? What roughly?
I have no idea. He just kind of started showing up, and he was funny, so I kept bringing him up.
Would you say like 5 months ago?
No, I don't know if I'd say that long. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, so
that
he's a
long?
season
Yeah,
6
this-
character.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
This
you're a
guy's
season 6.
this guy's a newbie. Like,
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
newbie
you
to-
see them.
a
They're
newbie to the
fraud
page?
watching me.
Yeah. But to say
Yeah,
Dion,
bro.
yeah, but say Dion's been roasting me on my page since like a year ago, bro.
Yeah,
And
bro. I've
the
been here
adherence,
since
man.
season
That's
1, bro.
it's horrible.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're not an OG. It's crazy.
Hey, when I come in here, dude, like the mood changes. That's the kind of aura I
Yo,
get,
you are
man.
not the mover, bro. What the
You're
hell? Like,
not
bro,
the
get him out of
mover.
here, bro. You're
This
not the
dude,
mover,
he said this. He said you're not the mover, dude. You're not the mover.
bro.
No,
Like,
y'all don't know the lore, man. I came in here at work, bro.
bro, I
I
used to
like
do that all
your
the time. What are you talking about,
shirt, Bryce.
I almost got fired.
bro?
Where'd you get it from?
Did you go
Online.
and sleep in Bryce's basement? I
Where?
think not. So I have one ups on you.
Kingdom.
I think that statement is reductive
How's that reductive?
because I don't think it's possible.
Wait, you don't think it's possible to sleep in Bryce's basement?
Kingdomsomething.com, dude.
How's the
He doesn't
quality?
I hate
have
to tell you,
he doesn't have a
It's
basement.
great.
he does have a basement. He's in his basement
It's
right now,
sketchy.
actually,
Oh, it's that
What's a
type.
basement?
I like the boxy kind of shaka wear
under the first
pro
floor.
clubs type of
Boxy,
shirt.
boxy kind
Is
of
it the
what?
first floor? If it's the floor,
I like the boxy kind of pro club and shaka wear shirts.
Mm.
I know you don't know
See.
nothing about that, white boy, but it's okay.
Oh no,
what are we doing?
that's crazy.
Yeah, my culture was too busy like inventing universities and shit to worry about stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's just a French guy.
Case in point,
Ho 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 ho!
do
Looking
you
at
know
boy.
Actually,
the advances that occurred in France?
mean-
don't worry
I
about right
mean-
now. Don't worry about right now. But back then,
Let me tell you
they were
something,
glorious.
brother.
wait, don't you
Let me tell
losers
you
have the
something.
Parisian school?
Let me tell you something. We not rocking with that boy Napoleon. We not
Do
rocking
you
with
see
him.
this? You don't have this.
We are
What is
we
that?
are rocking with Charles when they
Pure,
build one.
pure gold.
Pure gold.
Yeah, it's pure gold.
Why would you drink metals?
Because I have the bag and you don't.
So wait a minute. Instead of drinking plastics and like aluminum metals, now you're drinking gold metals, which will cause more damage to your immune system.
You think it's gonna cause
Yo, don't
more
let up
damage.
that. Don't
This
let up
is
that
French
Mexidox
logic.
food.
You think that it's going to cause more damage.
Can you do me a favor?
Bryce
brother,
bought
here
that
we
shirt
go.
from a Jewish merch channel.
Oh, Mexidox
You
is
know,
here.
Oh,
Let's
no.
I
go.
wouldn't even honestly. I wouldn't even doubt it. I actually have a shirt that's it looks like the P Hub logo, but it says "Fear God" on it. And I actually had gotten that from I think Isaiah Saldivar, bro, because I used to love Isaiah Saldivar. Anybody know that guy?
Yeah, it's he's actually from my hometown.
Yeah, bro. I used
Hey,
to
Mexidox.
dude, this guy used to just be gospel to me, bro.
Shalom.
Yo, I actually came up here because I wanted to debate the prompt.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so you have to try and so you have to explain why this is not a chill stream. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Well, I
justify
mean,
It says
chill
chill
could
stream.
singular statement.
Okay.
chill could also mean
Yeah,
cold,
it's
but
impossible
like
to have a
leaving
chill
with-
stream with a Cowboys fan on your panel.
Okay, what's your argument?
What's gonna be the argument for that?
Yeah, Cowboys fan. Wow. You're a Cowboys fan, Basil?
Yes, of course. What, bro? You
Oh.
seen my
Oh,
collar?
you disgust me.
Damn, bro. I didn't know you were
Oh,
that
y'all
type
want
of
to
guy.
so what I'm hearing is y'all want to debate
Thank
me?
you.
Okay. Y'all
Yeah,
want to debate
proven.
me?
That is horrible. That is
You want to
horrible.
debate me?
Me when the sports ball team is shittier than the other sports ball team.
Bro, Cowboys are like Mexico when it comes
Bryce,
to the World
yeah,
Cup.
Reddit to your argumentation.
No. Hear me out, Dion. I'm a Raiders fan. That's saying a lot.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's even worse.
God awful, man.
No,
Y'all
no.
Oh my
Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead
Oh my
and
God.
point
When was the
something
last
out to
time they
you.
went to the Super
The
Bowl? Just
last
curious.
time,
You know what's
the
crazy,
last
Bryce J? Wait,
time
real
we
quick.
were
You know
in
what's
the
crazy,
last
Bryce J?
time we
I've
the
never
last time
I
watched
think
we
it's
were
the
in
first
a
time you've ever
Super
heard that
Bowl.
set of words.
The last time we were in a Super Bowl was in like 2001. Still no Super Bowl appearances in the
9/11.
Cowboys.
Yeah, makes sense.
Bryce J,
Same
you know what's
year
funny?
as 9/11. Good things be happening over here. I'm kidding.
I've never
Yeah.
watched a football game in my life.
You never, me
But
neither.
I can-
well,
but
I
I
mean,
can tell you-
I used to watch college football a lot.
Hey, have a
Actually.
good day, bro.
I think college football is like
Yeah, OU on
massively
top for college
superior.
football.
Okay.
What's
OU
your
on
favorite?
top.
What's your favorite SEC team, Bryce?
OU.
OU,
Nebraska,
what?
Nebraska Cornhuskers, bro. You said
Oh
What
my
the
God.
Yo, they're not in
what?
the SEC. You
You said
goofball.
SEC?
They're in the big.
No, I don't. I
They're
just
not
watch.
in the SEC.
No, I don't watch anything else other than my own division. That Cornhuskers. are in, bro.
Decent wrestling program.
Sorry, bro.
Whoever said watch UFC, you're correct.
OU on top, bro.
Go Tigers.
Facts. Tigers.
Also,
Didn't we beat you?
I'm like
Yeah, we
99% sure that like people that really like OU, they only like it because they win too much. I'm like guaranteed.
Well, I like OU because
Wait.
I'm in their
Clemson?
state.
Hmm?
And they play pretty good.
Somebody just say
Yo,
Clemson.
mind you, he said the LSU Tigers. We cannibalized them this year.
Hey, I just got to be loyal, man. It's okay. It's fine. Last time we were good in football was like 2019.
Was like last year
Ericoda-
for the first 3 weeks.
Ericoda for $5. Thank you, man. He says Bryce Frog, baguette,
Hey,
bad
could you
hair.
back away
Are you
from
gonna
the
start
mic, bro?
singing like
Damn.
Les Miserables, French boy?
Shit.
Do you actually want me to turn
Yo,
my mic down?
why you like turn your mic up so loud?
You talking to me?
Yeah,
Just
your
be
mic
said
quality is
Albies.
kind of butt right now. I can't lie.
Like,
Okay,
bro,
hold on,
damn,
now.
you just kind of like ear graped me, bro, without
Whoa.
consent.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, that
Well, isn't
caused
that what
harm,
grape is?
dude.
That did cause harm. You might have to
Is it
repent for
better?
that.
Is it good now?
No, a little bit lower, bro.
A little bit lower.
Just turn it all the way off.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
How about now?
That's good.
All right.
Now
Cool.
Dion's louder than you, and I don't like this.
Why can I hear myself echo in every single live stream I'm in? Am I that loud? Is my phone that good? Am I that superior to the Bryce J? Am I that superior to
Yo,
Bryce
can you
Jameson?
stop having a tart attack? Thank you.
I don't know if that's gonna fly. Come back.
Yeah, get down, Jew.
Yeah, dude, don't bring him back up. Actually,
We have a
Bro.
group of spiritually Israelis in the freaking prompt right now. It's
Aren't
horrible.
you a Jew?
Yo, Isaiah, I did want to ask you something, my friend. Are you there?
What's
religious
What's up,
nuts.
man?
I'm the type of guy. So I take it you're American,
Oh boy.
right?
Yeah. Of course.
Wrong. Right. So now what I want you to do is tell me what land you originate.
Oh, it's gonna get bad here.
Go ahead.
Just like based off of what my family's told me, probably like Scottish, like Welsh.
Well, your family's wrong. Where did you originate from?
What do you,
Yeah, I know. It's flying over your head. I know. It's okay.
where did I originate from?
Yes.
Like Wales.
Well, no.
Dion just has like constant Balkan rhetoric, bro. It's crazy.
Right. So here, let me teach you something, because I know I'm actually disappointed that Bryce J hasn't taught you this. It's very basics.
Oh, he's gonna bring up the Logie.
You
Somehow.
originated in the garden. That was your original land, you dingus.
I didn't think I had to teach
Now,
him something like that.
Yeah, but
Wait.
you have to. Apparently, the guy didn't know.
He didn't know.
I know.
Dude, you asked the question was too vague, man.
That was
No, it
very
wasn't.
vague. You
It's too
gotta
vague.
No,
disambiguate
okay, if I
the
tell you where
question.
the sun's
I
originated
told you
from,
this
what would
is
you
like
say?
this is Balkan reasoning, bro.
If I tell you where the sun's originated from, what would you say?
Where'd the
Well,
sun
I mean-
originate from? You'd have to spell the word sun
Do
first.
I really have to say what's the referent when you ask that question?
You'd have to spell the word sun first.
C-O-N?
What?
Again, you're Balkan, right?
Duh.
Noted.
Illyrian Empire, where Paul went to preach.
Uh huh. And where
Yeah.
where they spell sun with a C. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we did get Cyrillic. I know it's like more evolved than your French pagan language.
Bro.
But yeah, Cyrillic. Yeah, that's what we spell.
So you admit that
Is that a Parisian reference?
You admit that Cyrillic is actually better than the language that Latin uses in your church?
Wait, I said French, not Latin. Try again.
So the language when we're talking about, you said Cyrillic, by the way. That's not a language.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, yes it is. What are you talking about?
Is it really? Oh.
Yeah, it's a language,
Bro,
yeah.
Saint
Ooh,
Cyril and
Welcome,
Methodius,
yeah,
dude?
no, edit that out. Edit that out.
Edit that out. Edit that out. Edit that out.
Another
I thought Cyrillic.
Balkan classic.
I thought that
you
Cyrillic
West
was
Europeans.
Oh my.
You West European groypers
Cyrillic
will
was
never
an
exceed.
Don't worry,
alphabet.
don't worry. It's already clipped. Don't worry about it.
Oh my gosh. Yo, please.
I'm gonna go on your YouTube and clip that.
Please. I beg whoever clips that, please at least also include the part where I apologize and say I was wrong. Don't.
I am
Nah,
not going to do
no,
that.
no way.
I am not going
You're
to
asking
do
for
that.
honesty too? No way.
Okay, get out of here.
Mind
first
you,
off.
mind you, Dion
Did you
said
hear that?
Cyrillic.
Did you guys hear that?
You're getting absolutely body slammed by the wife right now. I
My
love
wife
it.
freaking busted my door open and said, "You didn't know that was a freaking language."
Look at that. Two
Yo.
birds with one stone. I
She
educated two West
immediately opened my
Europeans
door and
today.
did that.
Mind you, you said Cyrillic, and the Miaphysites thought you were talking about Miaphysitism.
Of course they did.
Wow, Crazy.
I educated two West Europeans today. This just proved the Balkans are superior, where the sea is located
Are we
in the
still
Balkans.
confessing 4 hypostasis and a couple essences? What?
A couple of them.
A couple of them? Just like a pair? Like, what are you talking about, man?
What?
Pairs.
A pair of essence? 6 to 7 hypostases. Okay.
Yo, Dion, didn't you Balkans get murked by the Turks?
No, brother. Those were Greek Constantinopolians. Nice try.
Spreading Dala, dude. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I reject
Hey!
the minor and the major.
Everybody shut the hell up right now. I just looked it up. You guys are gaslighting me. Cyrillic is not a language.
Yeah,
Are you
it is.
serious? It's in our bro. It's
Look
in
it
our,
up.
Yo,
Look it up right now.
dude.
It's a script.
Bro,
It's a writing system.
It's in the Synaxarian,
It's
bro.
in the- it's
in
a script.
Synaxarian.
It's
Look
a
at this dude. This
script.
guy's insane.
What are you talking about? It's in the Synaxarian, bro.
He
You
wants
didn't
to be
know
right
that Saint
so bad.
Cyril and
He wants to
Methodius
be
went
right
and
so
made a
bad.
different language for
No.
the Balkans so that they could understand the liturgy?
And
What's
what was that
wrong
called?
with you?
Wait, what language is that called?
Well,
Cyrillic.
No, it's not. It's called
wasn't-
Church Slavonic. Basil.
Yeah, it wasn't the Balkans. It was East Europeans. Like
Or East
Russia.
European, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh,
then
that's
they
called
integrated
Church
to the
Slavonic, bro.
Balkans.
I was right. Cyrillic's
that's
not a
Cyrillic.
language. It's a script. It's a freaking
No, that's
script.
Cyrillic.
You guys are
That's
all
Cyrillic.
gaslighters.
Bro, are you okay? Let me tell you something, bro. That's Cyrillic.
My
Are you
YouTube chat
okay?
saved me, by the way. Not you
Bro,
guys.
don't.
Nobody on
That's
TikTok.
Cyrillic.
I just want to put that out
That's
there now.
Cyrillic.
The YouTube chat seems to be
I'm
much
just
more.
gaslighting.
Yo, there's a lot of high cortisol over here, can't lie.
No,
Can I tell you something, Bryce J? I'm still gonna clip that, and I'm not gonna make you look nice because
fine.
Cyrillic is a language.
No, it's not a language.
It is a language.
It's a script.
I speak it, dingus.
Speak it right
How do
now.
you speak a script? How do you speak a script?
Wait, hold on. What's the actual name of the language you speak? It's not just Cyrillic. What do you actually speak?
It's Cyrillic.
Dude, you don't just speak Cyrillic. It's,
Yeah, I do.
It's a freaking set of letters.
Okay,
It's an
watch this.
alphabet.
Watch this. Watch this. Is French a set of letters?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's no. Whoa. What?
Is Comic Sans a set of letters?
French is not a
Wait,
set
yo,
of letters.
Bryce,
That's
what
the
is
difference
what is
between
a
language
word?
and a
Hey,
script.
Bryce,
Because
is a
French
Bryce,
writings don't
Bryce,
exist
is a
anymore.
word a set of letters?
Oh my gosh, bro. No,
guy's-
you guys are freaking skyrocketing my
Yo,
cortisol
Oh my
Bryce,
tonight.
gosh.
Bryce, what do you do when you
what's
put
the
letters
argument
together,
for a word being a set of letters?
Dude.
Bruh.
What is it? What is a set here?
Wait,
Go
yo,
ahead.
since we're trolling, that means Abdul has to come up, right?
French.
Yo,
No,
watch
dude.
this. Yo, watch this, everybody.
you
Yo,
say
Bryce
a
J.
script-
How do you say God in Cyrillic?
I mean, there's a way. If you're talking about Old Church Slavonic, how do you say?
How do you say it in Cyrillic?
There's ways to spell it in different languages that use
How
Cyrillic.
do you spell it in Cyrillic?
I don't think you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm
You need
saying.
to listen because there's multiple
rhetoric
different
is
languages.
insane.
There's multiple different languages that use it. So, for example, Russian, the way that they would spell it, God, would not be the same as that they would spell it in like Serbian. It's not identical,
Yeah, it would be.
bro.
It's Bolg, dingus.
It's bulk.
You just got owned. Yeah, look at that. Stop panicking, Bryce.
No, I'm putting him. French is not an alphabet. Thank you. So when you say, is it a set of letters? I'm referring to a script or an alphabet. No, French is not a
A script or an alphabet. What is it, Shakespeare? Oh my goodness.
The cortisol set is insane right now. The cortisol baiting is ridiculous.
I do have a serious question. I
Oh,
know
no.
you're not 100% French. What's the rest?
Canadian.
What kind of Canadian?
I don't know.
Well, brother, can I tell you something? You know, France.
Most of the people in my I used Ancestry.com. I let the Mormons figure that out for me.
You
Base?
trust Mormons
They-
to do that for you.
They're actually pretty good at lineages.
Yeah, he originates in Utah.
They're really good at stuff like that.
So you do know what kind of native Canadian?
Native Canadian.
Yeah.
What is that, French?
Okay,
Hey,
brother.
no,
you do
no,
know
because
the
French people came to
The French came to Canada.
I'm not
Yeah, and then
actually.
there's
I'm not
natives.
actually from Canada, by the way.
I know you're not, but when you say your lineage is there, are you referring to settlers or are you referring to the native people
Yeah, it's
who are
Fran-
within the
to
region?
2%
settlers
Cherokee.
from France. The settlers from France.
Oh, so you're just French. Okay. You're just French.
Then yeah. If that's what just makes you
Yo,
French.
we need to stop letting Dion up on Chill Lives.
Yeah,
Yo,
no,
Dion
this
is
is the
laughing.
least chill freaking live I
Too
think we've been
much,
on in a
dude.
long time. And I usually debate Muslims at the beginning of every live.
I am chill.
All right,
Thank
I'm
you.
inviting Servant of the Merciful.
You know, I could
Thank you.
I could make this any less chill. Bryce, I want to have a
So is
little
that
bit of an
is that-
informal debate with you.
Oh
Is
no.
that a concession, Bryce, by the way?
An informal debate on what?
Yeah, so does the smoke from the smoke machine proceed from the machine alone or from the machine and the vent as one principle?
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit, he got your ass there. Yo, Bryce, your camera's cool. It follows you even when you put your head down. Like
Yeah,
a
I
good
know.
boy. Oh, you know? Okay. At least you're self-aware.
I'm aware
Can't
that
have
I'm
That's
mine.
aware that my
a good argument right there. Good argument. Good argument.
Self-awareness
So
in the
like,
Big
would the
26.
smoke machine be the primordial cause?
It's going to be
I got you.
it's going to be
I
the
got you.
originator of the smoke itself.
Okay, so does the vent actually participate in the existence of the smoke itself, or does it just direct the smoke towards the other things that experience the smoke?
It directs it.
So then it's not causing it in any way?
It's not causing it, no.
Thank you. You just conceded the filioque is false.
How did I concede?
Because if you apply that to the filioque, you have to say that the sun does not actually
Who
participate
said anything
in
about the
active spiration.
filioque? We're talking about smoke machines.
Oh,
We're not talking about the filioque.
Well, then that's my position on the smoke machine.
Okay.
Spiritually is really.
Oh man, I guess I got baked. I'm gonna go give $10,000 to Israel.
Base?
Yo, did you guys hear the? I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Did you guys hear there's a rumor that Netanyahu's dead?
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Oracle, we love you.
Oracle,
Glory
we love
be
you.
to God.
Oracle, we love you.
Glory be to God.
By the
Hey,
way,
Bryce
Glory
J,
be to
did you also hear that Netanyahu has 6 fingers on his right hand?
I did. I saw that video. I saw
Yeah,
that.
did
What
you
does
know
that
now
mean?
I'm gonna make
That's why people think he's dead.
did you
Because there's a video that came out recently where he actually like warped 6 fingers temporarily while he was talking, so people think it's AI.
Hey, if he is, glory be to God. The synagogue is
That's
Satan is
crazy, bro.
decreasing in
And
numbers.
you know what's crazy about that? I guarantee you by next week, there's going to be some Hindu Indian having an altar to him. I guarantee you that.
That's crazy.
They already made one of Epstein.
This live is
They already
Yo,
made one of Epstein.
Wait,
They already
what?
made one of Epstein.
This live is gone. Sorry, TikTok. This live is gonna.
I'm
get
sure
me
there's
pretty
already
fucking-
idols out there, you know.
Yeah. So is that a concession? My argument.
What was your argument?
He's not even tracking. Look at that,
That
Mix.
this isn't a chill stream.
He's not even tracking.
No,
Look at
this
him.
is no, this is well, okay. Honestly,
Yeah, dude,
I'm
doesn't
gonna
track.
Just Google
I'm gonna
it.
concede to Mexadox because after he said that this wasn't a chill stream, Dion proceeded to rage bait me and made my cortisol crazy high for like a solid 15 minutes.
It's not a script, bro.
Hey guys, remember before we say the name Netanyahu, we have to add the title "Hated by God."
Hey, Bryce, can I tell you something, brother? How come when I see other streamers, they have like books behind them and crosses and icons? Why don't you have that?
Lucky
Do
you
you
live
want
here.
me? Do you want me to be
That's-
real?
that's
this-
pretty
first
valid
off,
point.
This is probably gonna get me in trouble for saying this. Like someone's gonna get mad, but I think that if you put icons behind you as a content creator, you're like a shill.
What does that mean?
I think that that's wrong to do. I think displaying your spiritual corner behind you is ridiculous.
What do you think of people that post their prayer
Wow.
corners?
Yeah, I mean, like if people are just saying, "Hey, look at this," like it's just as a casual thing of like
Wow.
friends, that's one thing. But I think personally that if you're a content creator, putting all of your stuff behind you, I think it's weird. I think that's.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about people who have like saints as their profile pictures? That's weird too, you know?
I mean, I don't do it, but
Yeah, but that's weird, right? Yeah.
I think
Bryce,
I think
what,
it
you
can,
better watch your words
go ahead,
wisely.
Bryce. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
I mean, I think it's kind of weird when people do things like that. But I'm not saying that the picture that they have is bad.
Yeah, no, of course the picture's not bad, but the action of putting it on their profile, that's kind of weird,
I don't know.
right?
I see. I don't do things like that not because I think like it's just weird to do. I don't do it because I like to do a lot of bad things sometimes when I say things to people on TikTok as a joke, and I don't want the name of I don't know, Saint Maximus the Confessor on the profile picture as I rage bait somebody.
Yeah, or like Saint
Yeah.
Basil, you know?
I think that's a valid
That's just
take.
me.
I like how you said that, but
Bryce,
this
it's
isn't even St.
actually,
Basil on my PFP.
Bryce, I actually have a question about Eastern Orthodoxy.
Okay.
Is it true the longer your beard is, the more long theosis you are?
Correct. That's why Saint Maxim the Greek that we would say is probably one of the most holy men ever.
It's just because of his beard.
Oh man, I mean, if you saw that beard, you'd know.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's fair.
Saint Maximus the Confessor never sinned.
Just go ahead and just look up St. Max in the Greek real quick, dude.
Hey Bryce, I have a humble request.
I'm sure, dude. What's up?
Could you angle your face down, but your eyes still staring at the screen?
That's a weird request, bro.
Please? I'm coming humbly.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm not doing
Well,
that.
what you do to the least of these, you've done to me.
Okay.
Okay, bro.
It's a humble request.
It's not that humble.
Even the
He
dogs
did,
desire the
he
crumbs
did
that fall
preface
from the
it with
master's
humility. There's that.
Thank you.
Oh my
This
gosh.
dude actually has his sound on to take pictures. It's crazy.
That's freaking unk status right
That's
there
some
if I've ever
old
seen
people.
it.
That's some old people.
You know, it's
shit.
crazy, Bryce. So many people have been saying I'm old and unk, bro. Bro, I'm turning 22, man.
It's because you act old.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Bro,
Your
I'm
profile-
young.
Bro, your profile
Bro, do you-
picture right now literally looks like a boomer on Facebook taking a picture for his profile.
Bro, it's literally just a
It's literally
selfie.
like a guy going like this.
Bro, it's a selfie.
I think
look
it'd be
look at
funny.
yours.
Yo, Bryce, by the way, I'm
Wait,
going back and
no,
screenshotting
Basil,
that.
no. I can't let this
I
slide.
can confirm. I can confirm right now. Dion, do you tap your phone with your middle finger?
What do you mean?
Do you like swipe with your middle finger?
Sometimes.
do you hit the buttons in your car
I
with the
feel
middle
like I'm
finger?
being called out
With
indirectly.
the middle
bro.
finger? Not really.
You close your tabs.
Anarchy said,
Let me tell you something, Bryce.
Dion ain't
You
far
have
from
a
your
selfie.
hairline, Bryce. I know.
You
He'll
have
get
a
there.
selfie.
He'll be there.
You have a selfie too. You just think you're younger and hip when you're not
I don't
because
think
you
I'm
made it
telling
look. You think it look cartoony.
No, I have it set like that just because the actual image that I got that cartoony thing from, I'm doing a goofy smile in it, so I just had it get fixed by an AI so that it's more serious.
Oh, you want to be serious?
Sure. When I put my picture,
Let's see.
why not?
Let's see your serious face.
I give it like every day, like all the time.
No, you don't. Let's see it.
I do.
Let's see it.
Bro, he can't do it right now. He can't do it right now.
I can't. I can't. I'm
Duress,
yeah,
dude.
I
You're
got
not
to-
serious, bro.
Dude,
You're not
I'm gonna
serious.
I'm gonna try to make a serious face, and then my face is gonna turn red from blushing.
You're not serious, man.
Wait, Dion. Wait, so just for the chat, you blush while looking serious in front of other men?
That's
Who, me?
what Bryce said.
Yeah, Bryce. You.
No, not at all.
Go ahead, give your serious face.
No, dude. I keep laughing in a second. What, honey? What's up? I see you in the chat.
Is that supposed to be your serious face?
No,
Looks more concerned.
I'm always concerned.
It'd be great if Dion had a debate with Orthodox Muslim because their
My
profile
wife said
pictures
that I'm
kinda look the
incredibly
same.
attractive, so you guys are wrong. I don't care.
That's good, man.
Hello, Bryce James.
Yeah, nothing we could say there.
Using my almost government name, bro. That's crazy.
Concede.
I don't think anybody here was talking about your attractiveness, but that's
I don't
good,
care. My
man.
wife did.
That's good, brother.
Yeah, and you using
You hear that, Isaiah? He's taken.
Hey, Dion. His wife also calls him a Jew.
You do,
She does.
you do look Ashkenazi.
She does call me Jewish. She does that. Is your father?
Yeah,
the last LeBron
I'm not gonna
James?
lie. If my wife called me a Jew, bro, I'm sorry. I don't care what the Catholic Church says. I'm getting a divorce.
Wow. Okay.
Some things you just cannot let stand, man.
That landed all right.
This live is so fucked, bro.
All right, so okay,
All right, serious
yeah,
question, guys.
let's get serious. All right, are y'all taking the 7,000 check or no?
All right, bro. Yo, Dion, we get it.
No, I'm serious
It
question.
depends. It depends on what I have to do for that $7,000.
You just have to pledge your allegiance to the state of Israel for the rest of your life.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not
That's
gay.
like the equivalent of
Wait, I
getting
get
the mark of the
7K
beast.
for doing that for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
horrible
basically
deal.
like horrible deal.
So
I
You
would
should be
take
happy
that.
you're getting
It's
anything.
like,
You should wait. You should be happy you're getting anything, Guim.
Bro. I wouldn't
Well,
take that.
Dion, here's the question though. Are you gay?
Silence.
Yo, let's
that's a
actually
clarifying
shift to an
question.
actual
How
important
about you?
topic.
You
Yo,
bet you
so
make that deal?
Bryce,
I'd make that deal.
I don't
Who's-
blame you. Damn
what's
good
happening?
deal.
I don't know what's happening.
What
Bryce,
was it?
so
Damn good deal.
Metaphysics Mike was talking to Trent yesterday about his syllogism that he made in your guys' debate against the hypostatic union, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he. Well, I don't know. I don't think that the full video's out there yet because Trent hasn't posted it.
Okay.
But Metaphysics Mike said some very goofy things.
It's
Let me.
metaphysics, Mike.
Yeah.
We know this, Basil. Like, bro, it's like sky's blue. Like we get it, bro. Give something new. Like,
Yeah,
gosh.
freaking dude. Breaking news. Fork in kitchen. Holy shit.
Yeah, tell him, Bryce.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Bryce J. Oh, just me? Okay. Bryce J.
Bryce J.
Deion trying to start a rally.
He's trying to start a rally. I don't like that. It's very Jewish of him.
You know what? We should react to a debate, guys. How about that?
Let's watch Peter Diamond versus William
Gotta
Albrecht.
find a good one, bro.
Yes,
Last time
yes, yes.
Dude,
That is
William
a great
Albrecht,
debate.
Peter Diamond is fire,
That
dude.
is, yo, that is a fire debate.
Oh my god.
I'm making my wife watch that for a catechism.
For the
Peter
entire
Diamond
What?
versus Albrecht.
For the entire stream, I just put on the freaking the 4-hour expose of Jay Dyer and just like go through the entire thing that he made
Down.
like a long time ago. No, I've seen all of it. It's not.
How do you feel about esotericism, Bryce James?
In what regard? Like Christianity?
Like what Jay does.
Oh, like studying it and then reviewing like how it's
Yeah.
involved in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do.
You think that's a good thing to do?
I think it's a good thing to be aware of the fact that the elite exists. Yeah, you deny their
You think it's good to be aware?
Yeah.
Well, you're not aware.
Yeah.
Because if you were actually
Dude,
truly
I'm
aware,
a noticer.
wow. Okay, noticing.
But you're
and
still drinking
being-
those microplastics, huh?
Oh my goodness,
Can't get away from him, dude. If you can't beat him, join him.
brother! Drink rain.
Yeah.
I drink rain.
Drink out of a
Wait, you
gallon.
drink
I have it
rain? Do
every
you not know
morning.
what the elite does to it? Have
Every
you ever
morning.
heard of cloud seeding?
Wait, but when
buddy?
it evaporates, when the microplastic water evaporates and it rains, the microplastic water will come down again.
Breathe
Even if you
air.
can-
Yeah, so you can't avoid it.
Yeah, you can't even avoid it.
Wait, I have a curious question for you, Bryce James. So you are aware. You are aware. Okay, everybody cool, right? You are aware, right, that carbon monoxide, which we do inhale, causes us to age and deteriorate. You are aware of this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so is this a part of the fall?
The fact that we deteriorate because of carbon
No,
monoxide?
the molecule.
I believe that the fact that we deteriorate from carbon monoxide is due to the fall, not the fact that that we inhale carbon monoxide.
Yeah, because I feel like if
it's
it's
not.
just
It's not. It's not.
pre-oxidant-
It's
Because
not. No, that's not what I'm
the
asking
entire
you.
understanding of entropy and things basically breaking away to become other things in the first place over time, that is something that's due to the fall.
Bro,
Entropy is
that's
due to
not what I'm asking you, Bryce.
That's
I'm
not-
saying
that's
the
not very
molecule,
parsimonious.
the atom itself.
People
right?
usually just
Carbon
say that's
monoxide.
not what I'm asking you, and they don't actually understand my answer. But
The atom itself, not even us inhaling it, but the atom itself. Do you
They just
believe
want
it
a
was
different answer.
created? Do you believe when it was created? Do you believe it was created to make us deteriorate?
No.
Or do you believe it altered right after the fall?
I believe it was altered after the fall.
Wow.
Hey Bryce, watch this. Hey Dion, if Adam before the fall fell from a tree, would he unalive?
Yes.
Got it.
In the garden?
Yes. Yeah, but he wouldn't fall from a tree because it was perfect there.
Did he have the ability to?
The
Is it
ability
possible? Was it possible for him to fall out of a tree?
Was it possible for him to fall out of a tree?
in the garden?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Trees were smaller? What
No,
kind of tree was this?
Well,
Was it a bush?
I think it was pretty thick.
So
Pretty
so
thick
Adam
tree.
can't, so Adam couldn't climb a tree.
Like if you played Minecraft, you know dark oak wood. I think that's the type of tree.
That's a good argument. I like that. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay,
That's
brother.
good.
I'm happy you're learning.
Yeah. Thank you. Really, that was very parsimonious
So
of
you,
you.
Yeah,
so,
man.
wait,
Glory be to God.
So do you genuinely believe that we could have died in the garden?
Not by natural means, no.
Okay, so jumping off of a tree would be natural means.
Like for
It
for
wouldn't-
example, like if Eve took a spear and just like put it through Adam's skull, yeah, I think Adam would die.
Well, yeah, but
he's
that
Why
wouldn't
would-
be the
why
that
would
wouldn't be the
participating
question.
in
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
what the
exactly,
hell
that's
is
the
the
thing.
tree of life?
No, that's. Wait a minute, we didn't partake of the tree of life yet.
Yeah, what?
That's the Eucharist, dingus.
The tree of life is the thing that kept them all alive in the garden.
No, they didn't eat it. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Christ is the tree of life.
Is the tree of life in the garden?
Duh.
Okay, what was that tree commanded to not eat from?
No,
No.
the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
Tree of knowledge of good and evil.
So we can
Yeah, good and
participate
evil.
in the tree of life.
Doesn't mean that they did.
Bro.
You just presupposing that. What the
Isaiah,
hell?
is this your guy? Is this your guy?
Bro,
Is this your theology?
Christ.
So
Christ,
Dion.
Christ. Wait, no. I have to educate.
I don't know, Dion.
Christ is the tree of life. Do you agree or disagree? Christ is the tree of life. Agree or
Did
disagree?
you ask me that?
Yes.
I believe that you can call him that. Sure, absolutely.
No. Is he the tree of life?
Yeah, he is the tree of life. Yes, but the way
Okay.
that he is the tree
Oh.
of life is different than the way that it
No.
was provided to them in the garden.
Blessed is the fruit of your womb. The fruit was put on the tree. Stop playing games. They didn't eat of the tree of life. Dingus, if they ate of the tree of life, then we'd forever be in sin. And we would never die.
Okay,
Christ
did
had
Adam
to
and Eve,
die
did Adam
to
and Eve
destroy
banish them
sin.
from participating in the tree of life when they fell?
Say again?
Did God banish them from Eden to prevent them from participating in the tree of life?
Yes.
So they were prior?
That doesn't insinuate that at all. Just so they don't eat it afterwards, because the Savior had to come and die and destroy sin. Then they can eat it.
That's weird, bro.
That's not weird. Which council contradicts? Right. It's not weird.
Dion, so you're
they
telling
have-
me
did
they
they have
couldn't climb
conditional
the
immortality
tree
in
and
the
fall
garden?
out of it?
I
So
think
look,
that
what I'm saying is this: if Eve took a spear and put it through Adam's skull, he would be dead.
Hold on. Did Adam and Eve have conditional immortality in the garden?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, meaning
They were
that
preserved by
they
the
were-
tree of life.
Were they preserved by the tree of life while they were in the garden?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
So if they're in the garden, how would they die?
Right, not through natural means.
So they could.
But
So the
obviously.
tree of life can be overridden by someone else's actions.
Not necessarily. So when we talk about the tree of life, right?
But it's possible.
Wait, excuse me.
I don't think they
My
could
bad, my
die.
bad.
I think that they were utterly preserved.
Wait, stop it. So before the fall, we could not naturally die. Number one. Number two, nobody would even take a spear, put it through Adam, or fall from a tree, i.e., because it was perfect.
What was providing
Okay.
them with the inability to die in the garden naturally?
God. What kind of question is
Is God the
that?
tree of life?
Yes.
So they were participating.
Yeah,
in the
Jesus is the
energies
tree of life. You,
of the tree
you
of
said that earlier.
So they were participating in the energies
Yeah.
of God. So they were
Yeah.
participating in the tree of life.
Yeah, it's God. Yeah.
Thank you. You just conceded
How did I concede it? What the hell?
because you just said they weren't participating in the tree of life.
When did I say that?
To start up the conversation.
What's up, Arno?
I don't think I said it like that.
I don't know, dude. I think the tree definitely preserved them, and then after the fall,
I grant your apology.
they were corruptible. Then I don't really know. Like the spear analogy is kind of confusing me a little bit.
But look, okay. So let me ask you something. Before the fall, in a hypothetical,
In the
And-
eschaton.
right?
How about in the
Eve,
oh, wait, hold on.
Eve wouldn't do it. Wait, real quick, brother.
Okay.
Eve wouldn't do it, right? Because they were good, right? She wouldn't even do it. But if Eve was to take a spear, take it and put it through Adam's skull, Do you think he just like regenerate that shit or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
What
I
the
think so.
In the eschaton, is it a
What?
reintegration
They were
of
not
Eden?
they were not in glorified bodies. What are you talking about?
Is the eschaton right? Is
English.
that you don't know what the eschaton is?
English.
The end.
The end.
The New Jerusalem.
We're not there yet.
You can't say anything about something that we're not in yet, buddy.
Yeah, bro, this dude's over here like,
Hey, Bryce, were
you gotta
you there
qualify that
before
first,
the fall?
Bryce J.
bro, go ask John, bro. Like, why are you asking me this?
Were you there before the fall, Bryce J?
No.
Were you in the garden? Okay.
I was a low-gi. I was a low-gi in the garden. That's what I was.
Oh my gosh. Him and the low-gi, bro. Can we get a low-gi word count on
If you
Bryce?
want to know about the eschaton, you're gonna have to ask John the Apostle, not me.
Bryce J, try not to mention the low-gi challenge.
Because the low-gi solves all problems.
Wait, Bryce J, you really think he'd like regenerate?
Yes.
I think so too, yeah.
How could he regenerate if his body wasn't glorified?
Because he's participating in the tree of life, so God's energies would regenerate him.
Well, then what is a glorified body?
A glorified body would be based off of your will also being aligned at the same time perfectly.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Something ain't right. Who told you that?
Huh? I would say
that?
I would say that derives from Saint Maximus.
Of course, St. Maximus. Love him. Love the guy. Pray for us. Now,
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to go to Augustine.
Have you read Cosmic Mystery of Jesus Christ?
St. Augustine don't help you here, buddy.
Cosmic Mystery by Jesus Christ?
Of Jesus Christ by Saint
Oh.
Maximus.
No.
Cosmic Mystery by Jesus. Yeah, I got the fifth. I got the fifth gospel, bro. I got the Injil.
Bryce J's a Gnostic confirmed.
Sounds legit.
I have the Injil.
No, but listen, so like, right, glorified bodies, right? Is your body, is it going to like glow?
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Jesus' body was glowing.
Okay, then maybe.
Right, so it's not just this like pretty simple. There's a lot of things. Let's
Yo, who let
actually
this bum up here?
let's sit and unpack this. Right.
Arakota,
so do you believe
hold
do
on.
you believe
Wait,
in my bad.
Arakota for $10. Thank you, dude. He says, did Eden before the fall exist in Kronos and the Aeon? Yes. If so, when Kronos fell and separated from the Aeon, would it be possible for death to corrupt the entire timeline of the Kronos? Yes. That's why St. Maximus' theory of time is so important to learn, guys.
Bryce J, I want to unpack this with you. Do you believe in heaven you'll be 33 years old?
I don't know if 33 is the perfect age for all people, but I do.
What?
This is back when I was a Protestant, right?
Oh my goodness.
we just believed that basically when we receive our glorified body, we would basically receive our bodies in the way in which they would be perfectly actualized if we were perfect.
Right.
So whatever age that would possibly be in the timeline, if we were to have not sinned, that would be in our logi.
Right. So don't care. We're going to go to the fathers. Okay.
Do
the fathers say you'll be 33?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I haven't seen one that did. You can show me.
Are you gonna look like Christ in heaven?
Like physically?
Oh my gosh, bro.
Was that a bad question?
He's been reading a little too much Origin.
What do you mean look like?
Are you talking about spiritual likeness or are you talking about physical likeness?
That depends.
You asked
that's your question.
You asked the question.
For example, you can have a glorified body like Christ does. That's physical.
Okay, so are you still going to look like you in that glorified state physically?
Me?
Yeah.
Brother, I think I'm going to have a six-pack and be at least 5'10". I guarantee you, the Lord knows, like, he knows
At least.
At least. But
I hate to tell you, bro, like your friend, you being short is not an accident. That's actually
what
just
if
like
peak humanity
in
is
heaven.
5'2"?
In heaven, I would want to be the same height as Christ. I'd want to have Christ's six-pack. I'd want to have Christ's beard. Christ, yeah, you know, I think like we would all be 33 years old because that is the perfect man. I believe when Adam was created, physically he was 33 years old.
Would you
Do
say
all
that
women
physically.
end up looking like Mary then?
That's actually a theory. That would be awesome.
Okay.
What do you think? Wouldn't you want that?
Yeah,
What if
but like, what
Whether or
but
not,
what if like
whether,
you
whether or
don't
not I
get
think
like
that's cool and I want that doesn't mean that that's a theology.
Say again?
but also going by like
Wait,
going by what
no,
you
no,
said,
no, no, no,
Dion.
no, no.
Dude, does
Makes
all the
sense.
women turn like into Mary?
You
They
have
all
to
end up
wait.
looking like Mary?
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Brother, you can put a veil
Basil,
on.
give Dion your
Relax.
Palmarian argument now.
Relax. You
Right,
can
so
put a.
Dion.
Oh my gosh! Why are you guys doing this?
So
No, no.
Dion, you ready?
You're
So I'm gonna make you
overstimulating. No,
concede, and
you're
you're about to be a
overstimulating.
Palmarian.
Dion,
You're
You're about to be a
overstimulating.
Palmarian when I'm
You're
done with you.
overstimulating.
Dion, you
You're
can't. You
overstimulating.
can't address this. Dion, you cannot.
Yeah,
address
you
what
literally
Basil's
can't address my argument.
Okay,
You're
go ahead.
You're the Mary guy, so I want
Okay.
to hear you.
Okay, so my argument is that Mary is in the Eucharist. You ready? So, is the Eucharist the true body and blood of Christ?
Yes.
Who does Christ, as all the Holy Fathers say, get his holy and precious blood from?
Mary.
Mary, right? So, by the art of predication, then Mary's blood, who he gets that blood from, is going to be also part of the making up of his blood. Therefore, when you're taking the Eucharist, you're also partaking in Mary's blood.
I deny the consequent.
Right.
What's going to be the argument?
So
He said right.
Christ has like.
Right.
So Christ. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So Christ has ancestral sin in his blood.
Huh?
Right. That went over your head.
He's using your position against you, Basil.
Christ has
Wait, yeah,
ancestral
okay.
sin in his blood.
I hold to the thought of some of the Eastern Orthodox saints that hold to Immaculate Conception. Now, where do we go from here?
This is where we go from here. Christ's body is in Mary. Mary's body is not in Christ.
Did
Like, that makes
did
sense.
Christ? Okay,
Wait,
again, the Holy Fathers.
Wait,
Hold
yo,
on.
no,
Hold on,
bro,
I'm not finished.
no, you're not gonna, bro.
No, because you just
Relax, stop
strawmanned.
doing that shit. Hey, bro,
You
stop
just
doing that.
strawmanned. This
Yo,
is
can I tell
crazy.
you something? Wait, can I tell you something? You
No,
wouldn't do
you
this.
can't tell me something. You gotta let me
have
answer.
to. Wait,
You gotta let me give you the
relax, bro.
question.
Relax. Yo, listen, bro. You wouldn't do this to Athanasius. So, like, relax.
You're
right?
not Athanasius, buddy. Nice
I
try.
know I'm not. I'm a brother in Christ. So relax. You want guidance and want me to teach you. Let me do it. So relax.
Yo, that
The
rhetoric
Vulcan,
is
the
bad.
Vulcan
No.
rhetoric, bro. The
The
Vulcan
Vulcan
No.
rhetoric.
Nah, let him go.
Now let me
He's
repeat
firing off.
this. Let me repeat this and let it sit in. Christ's body was in Mary. Mary's.
Wait, who muted him?
Nobody muted him. He just got a phone call.
Dang.
Oh, he's
That
running.
was-
Okay, got it.
Damn.
You gotta
No,
go
that's
search up on
rhetoric.
Chat
That's
GPT.
rhetoric. That's rhetoric.
Nah,
You
it's
need to
cool. I
stop.
got him. Watch
W.
this.
Right.
Barracuda again for $5. Thank you very much, brother. He says, so could time and space expand in the fallen Chronos to symbolize separation from
Is
God?
David in the Eucharist too? No, because we're saying that it's going to be a like it's going to be a direct predication. An indirect predication, the genes wouldn't be there.
Can you
As in
define
that.
predication?
Applying the quality of.
Okay. Divine gene.
He ran. Okay, he ran.
Dion
Yeah.
is
So does
fallen.
somebody want to come deal with the Palmarian argument?
Dion has fallen.
So does somebody want to come deal with the Palmarian argument now? Let's see who's in here. Gabe, do you want to come deal with it? I saw
Alright.
Jackie.
I don't
She's
want
like the
that
greatest
LARP to keep, I
theologian.
don't want that LARP to continue. I don't want people to get confused and think we're holding that. That was a LARP.
I
Anybody
mean,
who's in here, that was a LARP.
hey, so Dion got
No, he
murked by it,
doesn't-
and
he
Abdul
doesn't
got
actually
murked by
believe
it.
that. Censor, he doesn't actually believe that. That was a LARP.
Yes, that was a LARP. I do not think that Mary is in the Eucharist.
It's the Palmarian Church makes that argument as to why Mary is in the Eucharist, because they believe that Mary's in the Eucharist.
It was a really funny time that God Logic joined the stream right now, and we just said that.
Bro, that'd be bad.
No, he did. It was a LARP, W concession. I never conceded.
It's so much quieter. There's no more questions being asked.
I know, it's epic.
That's because Cataclysm's here. Everybody runs from Cataclysm.
Floodgates of open.
Floodgates of open.
Jackie conceded. She doesn't want to deal with the argument. Everybody's cooked. Yo, get Dom in here.
What's up? You good,
Bryce,
Loco?
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I hear you talk about the Logi. That's like the thoughts of God, right?
Divine ideas.
Okay. Um, because I've always heard this as a Protestant, like God has this perfect plan for your life, right? Is it kind of like that, where God has like a perfect plan for everyone, but it's the person's fault for not
Yes.
kind of like synergizing with His thought of you?
Yeah, because the logi of you, like the perfect representation of you, is something that you actually fall away from yourself, and that also includes the perfect plan for you insofar as what you would have been if you would have never fallen, for example. So,
Right.
like how you would have existed if, for example, Adam and Eve never fell.
Yeah, middle
Then,
knowledge.
yeah, I don't think that's middle knowledge all on its
No, I
own.
was just unlocking you. I'm just
I'm
playing.
about to say, I
Don't
was like,
worry.
I'm not. You're not getting me with that one. I've actually had somebody say that before. That's not middle knowledge.
No, you're good. You're good.
So
Bro.
is it
So what you're
is it
saying is that it's omni-subjective. I'm just kidding.
All right. No. We're not doing that.
so is it kind of like does that only apply to the idea of like that's how I would be without the fall, or does it apply in a way like when we're doing good,
Well, it's a
we're in line
combination.
with that thought?
It's a combination of both. It's a combination of what you would be if there was no fall, which is what you would be glorified as, in the end, and then it's also a combined of like how you would perfectly live out your life in terms of the fallen world as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to know. Thank you.
Yo, Gabe said I got 2 toll houses for that argument.
I gotta put some gain on YouTube. Apparently, the YouTube side.
So, Kata, that day that we hopped on a stream together and you were in the
that better,
bathtub
YouTube?
while on TikTok Live.
What?
Yo, yeah, bro, yo,
Rubber ducky and all.
This dude
There's no
Kato
proof
was in the
whatsoever.
he was in the bathtub on my live. We heard the water moving
On
and
Six
everything.
Soul,
Yeah.
that's not true. On Six
On
Soul, that's not
Six
true.
Soul.
On Sig Soul is crazy.
Bro, I still have to clip it. It's in one of your freaking live streams, Basil.
Yo, I'll clip it for you. Like what? Bryce, I would be wary. Kato might be in the bathtub right now staring at you.
Yo.
Getting active in the comments.
Yo, Bryce's cortisol is he's insanely spiked.
Yeah, bro. You have no idea.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw it, but Father Moses McPherson made a refutation to clavicular, which is too easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he made a video on clavicular. Basil, turn
You
your
guys
TV
haven't
off,
read
bro.
you guys haven't read Father Moses's work called Against Clavicular and the Black Pill?
Dude,
The
I'm
new
gonna have to
Father's
make a
works.
response to that.
It's the new Father's works, bro. Refute, yeah, again, contra frame mogging, bro.
No, I mean it wouldn't even be contra frame mogging because he was the one that got frame mogged. So it would just be pro frame mogging.
On the frame mog of clavicular.
Nah, yo,
on the
Father Moses
jester maxing of clavicular, bro.
Bro, Father Moses McPherson was so funny in there, bro, because dude was like, there's dudes really giving other dudes advice to put makeup on? Yo, he's like, what is this?
Hey, bro. Day looks maxing. That's what Profound Bean just said.
Day looks maxing is insane.
I'm so scared. Do not let World up. He's gonna freaking.
Yes, do not let World up.
He's gonna rhetoric max and try to debate me.
I'll fold World right now.
Contra
He
bone
comes up.
maxing.
He's gonna try to
smashing.
ask me like 15 questions. He's gonna be
No,
like,
it's
hey,
an entire
Isaiah.
it's an entire theological work just called Contra Black Pill, and there's chapters for bone smashing, freaking just general looks
Jester
maxing,
maxing.
jester maxing,
Cortisol
frame
spikes.
mogging, cortisol spikes, everything, bro.
Objection one.
A theological
Nah,
treatise.
actually, see,
On the contrary.
if you knew Ball, Aquinas already answered this in the Summa Theologica.
He did, yeah. Y'all haven't read Moggery Pars, bro?
Against
Come on,
the,
get out of
against the Gooner culture, bro. That's so funny, bro.
Nietzsche speaks of this.
Nietzsche talks about this actually.
Yeah, so SCOTUS actually
Really?
answers this.
Have you read them?
No. But I hear everybody try to be like, he wasn't a nihilist though. Trust. He wasn't a nihilist.
Have you read them though? No. Have you?
I have no reason to read that guy.
I don't
Yo,
know.
bro, do not let World
It's like
Up. He's
people
gonna
keep
be like,
messaging
Let
me
him
and
up.
they're just
Let
like,
world up.
I have scholastic question.
Let world up, please.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, bro. He's gonna go
My brother.
Basil.
All right.
Basil.
World. Really quick before you come up here and start asking questions. What I mean by passive
Yo, get it out before the
communication.
rapture, bud.
Yeah, but what I mean by passive communication is going to be when I go to the grocery store, right? And I don't have my store card on my person, and the cashier's there, and the cashier offers to use her store card. And so when she uses the store card, it's passively communicated to me. Go ahead.
You let women pay for you? Crazy.
Yeah, so can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
my refutation is the fact that I'm literally
Wait, hold
at
on.
sea and you're not.
Wait, hold on. So, wait, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can.
He's at sea.
What does this do?
Wait, he's at sea. Is this a concession?
What is
Hold
bro
on.
doing?
Hold
This reminds
Wait,
me
hold
of
on.
the Book of Revelation.
What sea are you at?
Is he frame mugging the fish?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I think the
I'm
fish.
I'm
I think the
I'm
fish should be frame mugging him. If I'm gonna be real.
That's true.
Is it true?
Yo,
Did
this is
Father
the
Moses speak on
consequences.
this?
Yo, notice how the sea is like the reason why it happened was because of the fall of Adam. You know that, right? Like,
Why?
the reason why climate change happens is because of the fall of Adam. All of it happens because of the fall of Adam.
Oh, you believe in climate change?
Yeah.
Why?
Please don't
Yeah,
make it
you're
about the
heterodox,
bombs.
anathema to you.
Yeah, why?
How? I don't know. It's just kind of self-evident. Like, if it would be unintuitive to deny
I don't know about.
it,
I
and
don't.
since
I don't.
it's-
I don't know about that, dude.
Wait,
See, my
wait, hold on.
senses.
Wait,
My
hold on.
senses
What
detect
if
that
I'm
it was
just
a
like
lot
a-
colder this year in the winter than it was last year. So
That's not climate change, though.
true. That's
That's not
true.
very.
no climate change. Didn't get hotter.
Maybe.
I agree with
Maybe.
World. It's a very parsimonious response to just affirm climate change.
Do you think climate change is
Really?
parsimonious compared to it not happening?
Rose utilized an ontological parsimony to justify climate change.
Yeah, I'm a
Wait,
reductionist.
yeah,
so,
if you have, like, let's say one commitment going to be climate change, then obviously you can still account for more phenomena without utilizing other accounts
What's the
for the
argument that
fact.
climate change is the
Oh my
best
gosh.
explanation for all the data we
There's
possess?
just no way.
Like, what if it's
Yeah.
just bright street aura farming that's affecting the weather, bro? You never know.
I think that would be less parsimonious.
You know what?
I always dedicate
DK's
at least
here.
an hour
I
a day.
got a DK Filioque debate now. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Kata's
bro.
probably taking a
Is it-
bath.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
it's 2 a.m. I'm not gonna do debates on.
Oh, so you're
No,
dodging.
I'm
Okay.
not
Wait,
debating
wait, hold on.
fake Dutch.
Wait, hold
It
on.
says
Let's-
chill
let's-
stream.
Wait,
It says chill
wait,
stream.
hold on. Where
Wait,
is
I
you're
already
telling me
repeated that,
two
Brett
people
J.
who. So you're telling me two people who whisper in the mic debating wouldn't be chill?
Wait, DK. Wait.
Nah, he's
Saint
on something. He's on
Augustine.
something.
Actually,
He's on
Saint
something.
Augustine in De Trinitate Book 15 says.
Is it real?
I don't think there was a book
Wait, hold
15,
on.
sir.
Wait,
book
hold on.
15?
DK, what
Was it
happens?
book
What happens
15?
if I call What happens if I call Vale up here to like frame argue with DK?
Wait,
Bro,
Bryce,
no one's
let me
frame
run the
arguing,
argument
bro.
against DK.
Yeah, I can get Vale up here. Hold on, let me get him up here.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah. Let's
no one frame arguing.
let's get the fanatic Vlad and I up here, bro.
Nah, even better, Bryce, let me run the Eucharist argument against DK. Let me fold
No,
him real quick.
please don't.
Let me
Please,
fold him.
please don't.
Yeah. So what's gonna be the argument for transitivity of identicals happening under intentional context?
Yo, what are you yapping about, bro? Shut up.
What even
Bro,
was
Ro's
that?
opinion to intentional context, bro. It's actually over.
Yeah, so like, what's the semantic range?
Can I get the semantic reduction on that?
Your cataclysm, bro. What is
You're
this
stealing
fake
Kata's
language in the
rhetoric.
comment section? We're speaking Dutch.
Yeah,
Dutch does not
being
exist, bro. It's not a real
trilingual.
language.
Yeah,
Aren't
he's
you like
German
Dutch is
too.
an
Irish and German?
abomination.
A, B,
Wait,
C, D,
DK,
E,
what's
F.
going to be the argument for that?
It just seems self-evident, bro.
Oh, okay, so you're running.
Dark
It's really
Dark
cool.
4926 on YouTube said, "Could a three-dimensional frequency table be used to display more complex data sets for the Trinity?" I have no idea.
What?
What is?
I don't.
Bryce, why did
I
you even read that
look,
out
dude.
loud?
I'm
What?
sorry.
Hold on,
I had
wait.
to.
It
I had to
is-
read that.
Can a set with with an extra column?
Yeah,
Wow.
see, you can't even get it out. Nice.
Yeah. So
Wait,
can three
wait, so
infinite
Isaiah,
lines layering over
No,
each other?
please, world,
Does string
please.
theory prove the Trinity?
Wait, hold on.
No.
Isaiah,
I
Isaiah,
can
I had a
see.
cool question for you.
No, it's all right, bro.
Wait.
No, it's okay. I actually gotta go do something now.
Wait, hold on. If we're gonna have some type of, yeah, but if we're gonna, yo, why is
Can
this guy
somebody
wrong?
throw World overboard, please?
I can't hear you, bro.
Why?
In the water, dude. What are you talking about?
He's already in there.
He's VC. He's coming into the freaking chat from the water right now, dude.
Go overboard, bro.
I'm on. Wait, Kata, you know I'm on the way to the Netherlands right now. You know that, right?
Can anybody
I'm on the
say
way
a
to the
single
Netherlands
word
now.
that World just said?
No, I can't. I just heard my name.
Netherlands.
But you know what's fun? I think World is the first person to speak about the transitivity of identicals on a boat. Like this is
Nah,
genuinely the first time
because
it's
then
ever
you
happened.
had. Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first person to discuss Caramuel and probabilism.
So,
No, Bryce actually did that first.
Ericoda
Under
for
condition.
Ericoda for $5. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. He says, "So could God's creative act be symbolized in the fallen Chronos in a corrupt and incoherent way, like evolution?" Absolutely. That's exactly what those people do.
No problem, Bryce Chase. No problem for the donation.
That was me, by the way.
No, that was me.
Does Freudian slip prove the Trinity? I don't know.
Yes, it does.
YouTube chat is so freaking crazy today, bro.
Yo, bro, we need like a Bryce paper against Voids. Like
Yeah,
direct
we-
contra Voids.
I mean,
Contra Voids
like
is
all-
crazy,
Contra
dude.
Voids.
all you,
Well,
Like,
if you knew ball,
I don't need to
if you
write
knew-
that. There's so many people that have already done that. Like me writing that is
See-
just me taking from their works. Do you know that?
Just doubling down,
knew,
dude. No.
If you knew
Modern,
ball, you would
modern.
know. You would know that I'm actually writing a book called "Contra Women: The Thoughts of Saint John Chrysostom."
dude, Basil, every time.
Notice how he just like said my name, said and then just said Basil.
I hold to the historical Augustinian position on women.
Yo, based?
Very.
Yo, it's gonna be
Yeah,
the
but Bryce,
argument.
can you ban Dutch from the chat, please? Like just the language.
Just
ban
the
it from
word
chat.
the word Dutch.
No,
just
the
like
whole
lang-
language.
Like anyone,
No, the whole language.
Forbid anyone speaking
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
language.
Yeah.
You know,
then ban
whenever
Cal
I
while you're at
read,
it.
It's not a
Some
Whenever-
Germans from the panel too.
wait,
People
so
are
Isaiah,
asking, people are asking too many questions.
Isaiah, if we're gonna have sets A and sets B, and those sets would have the same. Why is Bryce shit falling asleep?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's how he learns, dude. He's learning.
Go
World,
ahead.
that's what
This
happens
is how
when
I
you talk
learn.
scholastics.
This is how I learn. Go ahead.
That's scholastics.
Yeah. Hey, Bryce, just because you said that, I remember exactly that joke we made the other day when we were like, when you were talking about how you studied the church fathers so easily.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Was that the joke that I was doing to kind of like make fun of like Jay Dyer's like LARP that he made that one time where he said that I just do a bunch of drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you said he smokes weed. Yeah.
Yeah, when he said that, and then he had to actually address it because people were like, "See, as you can see, Jay is a demon because he does drugs when he studies the church father." Like immediately.
And then you had other people who were like, "See, it's not that bad. I can do it too."
Like, what if I like low key like just start heroin maxing, bro? Before reading like.
Wait,
anyone?
DK, what if like Vowed
As long
still
as you go to
mods
liturgy,
for, like,
bro.
2 years?
Yo,
What is-
how does
he's still
Vaughn get
mods?
mentioned, bro? Like, stop
Yeah,
playing this,
he
bro.
still mods you.
Wait, who?
Yes, he's still mod.
Wait, who?
Do you
worry
worship the
about it.
divine essence or the
what?
persons? The false dichotomy.
Don't
Yo,
worry
what, did you
about
say
it.
Vord?
Somebody say
Don't
VOD.
worry about it.
Somebody say
The
VOD.
goat.
Yeah, he
I
said
said
VOD.
VOD. Yeah, no, because me and Vod go way back.
Yeah, you say that
Vod
every.
does
Yeah,
mod
yeah,
Don't
you
worry
say
about
that
it.
every time you
He
come
does
up
mod
here.
me.
Yeah,
I
dude,
swear,
no,
I
here,
swear, I
dude.
swear. You mentioned how you and VOD go way back. Literally every stream you've been up here, DK. I'm gonna make a compilation of it.
That should be, bro. He's the goat. He's the goat amongst the Greeks. Okay.
It's. I'm
He's like
literally gonna put the
Godzilla,
video
dude.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
just
gonna say
not me.
DK glazing VOD for 30 minutes.
Yo,
That's
That's what I'll do.
no, hey Bryce, yo, I heard the craziest glaze I've ever heard in my life yesterday. So Jordan Travis came up on Slim's panel with Metaphysics Mike. This dude, Metaphysics Mike, didn't want to debate Jordan so bad that he was like, "Bro, I love Jordan. He's like a saint of Trinitarians." I was like, "What type of
What are
glaze?"
we doing, bro?
Yeah, but DK.
That's
Yes, you are aware. Bob would still argue, even if we do grant that Toledo beat him up on the
Yeah,
years
what
of
if I
division.
just
What is
if
he
I just
saying?
like
Glazing
What
another
is
man
it?
so
What is
hard.
he saying?
I don't know what
what is
he's
this guy
saying.
saying, bro? It's literally
Wait, hold on.
unintelligible waffle.
You guys not tracking?
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I guess not.
after you got stomped
Bro,
by
you guys know I'm a Latin. I don't have the news, so like I can't really track what this guy's saying right now.
yeah, don't worry about it.
Need a translator. We need a translator for World. Somebody wants to change their name on TikTok to World's Translator. I'll let you up.
And they have to be a Chinese engineer. It's like a necessary
Yeah.
precondition.
Yeah, whenever you
It's
have
like
like
a
grade
prerequisite.
5 of them, then there wouldn't be any sort of justification for that. Like,
Bro, can you shut up, man? You're not, what is this dude saying, bro?
yeah, but like,
Yo, I'm
yeah, but,
pretty
like,
sure that
Bro,
I
someone
talk
said
bad. I'm
catechisms
pretty,
and then baffle with the
Yeah,
2026. What are we
yeah,
doing, bro?
I'm pretty sure that I talk better than World. Like my phonics are better when I'm drunk.
Hold on, I
Yeah,
want to
bro.
address this real quick. GRRV or whatever on YouTube. You're the one who asked the question about the divine essence or the persons, which one we worship, and then after that you said, according to the Nicene Creed, is the Father alone the creator of heaven and earth? If you use that kind of logic to try to prove your own position, then bro, like first off, oh brother, let's go ahead and look at some of the things it says about Jesus. You want to actually play that game?
Yeah, so DK,
It's like
it
the
really
whole
thinks when you
argument.
have like
Yo, will
35
you
of
shut
them.
up, World? My gosh.
What?
Yeah, but every time there's like some sort of faith, it's going to be about.
So when it says in the Nicene Creed that he will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, would you say that that doesn't apply to the Father with your logic? Get out of here. And his kingdom, is it not the Father's kingdom? Goober. And in the Holy Spirit, when it says the Lord and giver of life, would you say that that's not the... Never mind. This is just... I don't even know why I'm addressing it. Somebody's trying to make an argument that the Nicene Creed is Unitarian.
So you're
why am I
running-
even addressing it?
Bryce got folded in 4K. That's
Yeah, but Kara, so I'm gonna fold you right now. So I'm Kara.
Oh my
if you
gosh,
take, like, let's
drop
say, any
him.
example, I think it's having an implication where there always be that wing, which would have.
What is he saying?
What is it? Wait, name one word you...
All I heard was Mark.
I was defending you for the
You
longest
didn't
time.
say anything.
I was
What did he just
defending him.
say?
I was defending him this whole
No,
time.
just said like I had Mark.
Yeah, so...
That's what I heard. I'm just like, 你好，你在喜欢冰淇淋？
He's your John had a whole big chilling.
Dude,
What's up, honey? I see
fried,
you in
man.
chat.
I'm fried.
Get me back up. Absolutely not. Basil, check
Bro,
Discord.
we are not bringing you back up, bro. Go inside, man. Go inside. Rose is just on the deck for no reason.
Yeah, did they know you're outside?
Right, he's just out there looking down. at the
Dude,
sea.
unsupervised out there on the deck, dude? No.
Unsupervised. Outside.
he's playing.
Just
He's
go back in,
playing
bro.
Black
Go
Flag in
back
real
in.
life.
Go back in, bro. Just go back in, man. Go to your room.
Go to your room, bro. Go to bed. Close the door.
Just go to bed, bro. Just go to bed.
He's gonna mutinize, dude.
It clearly says the Father created the heavens and the earth. Brother, it also says that the Holy Spirit is the Lord and the giver of life. Is the Father not the Lord and giver of life either? Like, that your logic is ridiculous.
I'm gonna lie, Bryce. I could mog him right now with Saint Gregory of Nyssa.
I don't think he cares about Saint Gregory of
Was it
Nyssa. He's one of
Gregory
those.
of Nyssa? Jesus.
Santa
No,
got answers all his
who said
questions.
I'm just gonna? Who said I'm just gonna? Okay, yeah, that's true. But nah, I'm not gonna quote him. I'm gonna just use his argument.
Did you just like call him out for Saint Gregory of Nyssa?
What?
And what am I supposed to call him, Greg?
Just call him. Just no. Like, every true like author says Nissen. Like every single like 20th century scholar says Nissen. Like, hey,
So we
if you're
got to
not
appeal to
autistic,
them.
you're-
We got to make sure that we appeal to them 20th century boys. Am I
Go
right?
to the modernists. That's what you need to do. Trust.
We need to appeal to the modernists, DK. That could be taken out of context in a
I
hilarious way.
appeal to Father John Meyendorf and Father John Meyendorf alone.
Yeah, I appeal to bro, who I appeal to? Who's that one like
Peter
really
Diamond?
schizoid Nova Theologia dude?
Dude, Isaiah, why did you drop, dude?
I appeal
You
to
talking about
Rana.
Joseph Farrell?
No, I'm talking about Rana. He was like a schizoid like 20th century dude. He was also a
I mean, Joseph Farrell. Joseph Farrell also fits that. You know.
Joseph Rowe was like bad, bro.
Very
I'm sorry,
bad.
bro. I'm sorry, bro. I was just scared of world, you know.
I dropped world. You can stay up here. It's fine. I get it.
Yeah, bro.
This new world. He wasn't saying words.
I'm feared. I'm
I'm scared because I don't understand anything that's coming out of his mouth, so it
until
scares me.
world walks in, and then
It gives me a cortisol spike, dude.
Wait, Bryce
no,
admitting that men spike his cortisol? Okay.
somehow it's still quieter now than it was.
Bro said
beyond.
then, bro, what am I reading? The 9'5" Peter Diamond emerges in terror amongst the Vatican II sect. Bro, this is the first time this sentence has been like uttered in history.
Yeah, so DK, what are you going to debate?
Bro, I gotta
Peter
put that
Diamond?
shit
wait.
into like Sora and just see what it makes.
Bro, someone screenshot this. I'm actually screenshotting this, bro. This is...
Yeah, so Talon, I already asked Talon to debate Peter Diamond. He's dodging him. We got DK dodging him. So who's next?
You know Peter Diamond blocked me on YouTube once?
Really?
Yeah, forgery.
No, this was like a couple years ago when I was like an Anglican still. I think I like trolled him.
Yo,
on his
used to be
comment section.
Anglican?
Vatican One Church
I
and
grew up as
Vatican
an
Two
Anglican.
Church. They're one and the same.
I grew up as an Anglican, so yeah.
DK getting mocked by Ayukon on whether intellection is the divine essence.
What?
This is some deep hardcore porn.
Do you mean, bro, are you on my server? This is creepy because me and Ao were speaking about whether the divine essence is formally constituted by infinity or intellection like a few hours ago in my server.
Goatism, Maxim.
What the hell? Dude, bro, are you on my server? Terrible. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm putting that into Sora right now. We're gonna see what happens. We'll wait on that.
Vatican free.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Comic Sans streaming.
I can't wait for this to load.
Yo, DK, what do you think of Never mind. I'm not even gonna ask that question. Let's
No,
go.
ask it. I want to hear how autistic it is.
No, it's a bad topic, bro. Bad topic, wrong time.
Okay. You can take the... Dude, I took it for a long time, and it's not a good position. There's no positive
Yo,
argument.
pause. You took a position for a long amount of time? Yo.
I took...
Hey, yo.
Wait, don't the SCOTUS hold to this position?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, the next time I hear like an EO say... with all due respect, the next time I hear an EO say SCOTUS, I'm gonna crash out, right? Okay.
SCOTUS.
Is that not a real thing either?
EO?
Huh?
Who are you responding to?
Well, I didn't even hear what Bar said.
I said, what is Scotism not real either?
Oh no, Israel is
Wait, Israel?
I don't
Israel?
like it when...
Israel?
I heard Israel.
Just say, dude.
Okay. I was...
Yo,
DK, you're running
get it
from
out, bud.
Quasi on virtual university, bro.
I haven't spoken to Quasi in like a year.
Because you're running from him.
So you've been running for a year. Okay, you
Point
admit it.
proven.
Concession made?
Ipso facto deposed.
Damn.
Ink. Oh,
Yeah,
again,
I
I think
don't
we should
think
ban
that
Kata.
I don't think DK likes
Wait,
SCOTUS that much
GMV
because
said,
I
I'm not
remember,
saying he doesn't have the divine essence, just that he is not the creator. What?
bruh.
What?
Who? Wait, who is he talking
The guy
about?
on the YouTube side that like said the Nicene Creed says that the Father is the creator, not the Son and the Spirit. And then I showed why that logic is dumb by showing the Holy Spirit where it says Lord and Giver of life. And then he said, I'm not saying that he doesn't have the divine essence, that he isn't the creator. Okay, so then I want you to now say the Holy Spirit is not the Lord, that the Father is not the Lord and Giver of life, please. Go ahead.
SCOTUS is amazing. And we all love SCOTUS.
Yeah, we love SCOTUS. We.
I'm just going to be
The blessed SCOTUS.
Orthodoxy's false to just become a sedevacantist fanatic SCOTUS. They'll be fine.
Jay Dyer
Jay
twice
Dyer.
ran from Diamond's debate challenge. I
That
would
would
too,
be
bro. Peter
that would
Diamond's
be
scary.
the best debate of all time.
To be fair, Jay showed the reason why he denied that debate with Peter Diamond because he made a 4-hour expose on his personal life, and so he determined that Peter Diamond is mentally insane because of that.
Yo,
EOs can't love SCOTUS.
Dude, hear me out though. Like, that's like that would do pay-per-view numbers.
It
Jay
would.
versus Peter Diamond.
It would.
Oh,
That would
dude,
yeah.
that
Hey,
Oh yeah.
hey, by that dude's same logic. Yo, Christians can't like Aristotle, bro. It's over.
Yeah, so Unum Sanctum, Dictatus Papae, Chieti, frame mugged.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
So you're running. Okay.
The most blessed Spinoza's argument against EED. What?
The blessed Spinoza, bro.
I feel like I just committed a form of blasphemy by just repeating that.
That the church may walk both
Oh my gosh, there's no way, dude. Are you ready for this?
by the authority of this council, we proclaim these new doctrines, that the church may walk boldly into the age ahead.
Strong words, Your Holiness, but the world honors strength. It's
By the
9-5 Mega Chad Peter Diamond Moggs the Vatican II Council. That's what I put. Yo, there's no way to refute that, bro. That was the easiest destruction of all time.
oh man, so dumb.
9-5 Terrachad Peter Diamond.
Yeah,
by the authority of this council, we proclaim these new doctrines, that the church may walk boldly into the age ahead.
strong words, Your Holiness, but the world honors strength. It's
By the authority of
strong words.
Why did they give him like a Thanos voice?
They gave him the hair too.
He literally was freaking Thanos, bro.
Oh, dude, I'm crying.
We just be using Sora 2 to prove the papacy over here.
Yo, could we get a Sora AI of St. Mark of Ephesus, like mogging the crap out of John Montenegro at the Council of Florence?
I guarantee you Sora has no idea how to depict either of them. You know how long it took for me to be able to generate that one with freaking Saint Spirit and the Wonder Worker? I mean,
Bruce
it took
J.
forever.
Aristotle.
Bruh.
Yo, who's Bruce J?
Never heard of him.
Wait, how'd you get an access token to Sora? I didn't manage to get it.
Oh, I can send you an invite.
Oh no,
Because
do not send Kata an invite,
Dude, it's the last
please.
person that needs a sore invite.
Please
because
don't
because
send an
because I
invite
do
to
have
Kata.
because I do have GPT Premium, but I never got like one of those
Look,
Yeah,
sort
Kata has
I got invited.
ideas.
I got invited to it. So freaking like, but you get to invite once you have the invitation. You can invite people as well.
Oh, dude, send it.
Okay.
And also invite Quasi to your server. He wants to be in there for some reason.
You said for some reason is his main server nuked or something?
No.
Is his
Yeah,
main
also
server
never.
perhaps gone?
Also, don't give Cat a
Maybe,
mod.
Yeah, why are we even
maybe.
letting this nuker on here?
So Paulogia made a video 11 days ago called "How to Destroy Christianity with One Easy Step."
Bruh.
I don't know, man. Maybe he ended Christianity. I just got to figure it out. I don't know if you guys know who this guy is, but he's quite goofy and he makes pretty funny arguments.
So Christianity is a pretty big religion.
I've heard of it.
But have you ever thought of disproving Christianity?
I have.
There's people who believe the Bible is false and they give their reasons why. But if you wanted to take a shortcut in destroying the Christian faith, the first thing you'd have to do is prove that Jesus Christ's resurrection was false.
Or just demonstrate that it's unlikely to be true. Either way, it's the end. Welcome to Paulogia,
It's over.
where a former Christian takes a look at the claims of Christians. And today, we're returning to Impact Ministries and their video viewed over 1.5 million times, advising people how to destroy Christianity with one easy step.
The resurrection of Jesus was the central truth of Christianity, and even Paul, a New Testament writer for many books of the Bible, says in 1 Corinthians 15:17, "And if Christ has not been raised, your faith is futile, and you are still in your sins."
That's true. The good news is that if Christianity is false, then it's unlikely there is a God who cares about your sins. And
wow, W reductio to that.
Sin, as a gap between God's expectations and your actions, is a meaningless concept. So all is well.
It would result in disproving the faith of all Christians. Their faith would be worthless. But is it possible to disprove the resurrection? Christians actually claim that Jesus died and that he rose again from the dead.
This is a bit of a strange framing to disprove Christianity, causing a burden of proof shift that isn't tenable. Proof is really just for math. In history, probabilities are weighed. We ask if resurrected Jesus is the best explanation for the available data. This is the very journey I found myself on about 10 years ago. I was still a believer in risen Jesus, but I wanted to see if I could demonstrate the resurrection to be true without first assuming it was.
Why does the 3 human analogy work, but not the H2O analogy? I'm not sure if you're referring to just trying to show the Trinity in general, or if you're...
The Cappadocians.
What?
The Cappadocians.
Yeah, honestly, my generic LARP reply to that is the Cappadocians use the analogy, so I accept it.
It's true. It turns out it is not. And as the Apostle Paul predicted, that ended.
Besides, St. Gregory of Nyssa using the human analogy in On Not Three Gods actually says that it's not a good analogy anyway, and then provides another argument towards it. So
the appeal to authority is not a fallacy, by the way. It's not. Just saying.
Did my faith.
Let's check out some alternative theories to see if they can stand the test and prove Christianity to be false and worthless.
In any battle of theories, the parties first need to be on the same page about what data the theories are attempting to explain. Many Christian apologists, including our narrator here, are assuming before we start that the reports in the Gospels are reliable. They want alternative hypotheses to explain how everything claimed in the Bible happened exactly as described, but just without a resurrection. This is an impossible task, because the Bible says that Jesus rose. So any alternative hypothesis must, out of necessity, deviate from the gospel narratives at some points. If you count disagreement with the Gospels as evidence against the hypothesis, then you are not in good faith actually considering said hypothesis. You might as well just say Jesus rose because the Bible.
But is there even any historical accounts, especially with around that time, in any way that said that didn't happen? I'm confused. Because that the way that he's kind of framing this is that if there was something that kind of like provided a contrary to what occurred in that time, that then therefore you would have to examine it. But that's kind of one of the arguments, is that there isn't a contrary.
Says so.
Why is this so loud?
What alternative hypotheses are actually attempting to explain is why the gospel stories came to be and came to be believed. This is a radically different approach. Imagine a dystopian year 3050, and most records from our time have been lost. It is conceivable that there could be a group in said time that, based on some surviving pages, posters, and plastic figures, firmly believed that in the 21st century, an alien named Superman served as a protector of the planet. Such a person might insist that to disprove Superman, you need to explain how he flew and how bullets bounced off of him. They might reject jetpack explanations because they don't work with a cape. They'd reject bulletproof armor hypothesis because his feet and hands were still exposed.
That's not the
Superman.
Yeah, but the problem is that the story that was written, like in this like example, right? There's a difference between somebody just writing a story about what somebody did, like as just a story, right, in general, versus eyewitness accounts to an event. Obviously, if there was many different eyewitness accounts to whatever this event was, it would hold more weight to it possibly actually being the case. So he's already framing it wrong.
Served as a protector of the planet. Such a person might insist that to reject bulletproof armor hypothesis because his feet and hands were still exposed.
This isn't even the way that most Christians argue. They don't create like a massive burden shift and then just say, well, we don't see how, you can't say that how it's not possible. Like, that's not the way that people argue for the resurrection.
This is someone demanding a non-alien explanation of how the stories can still be true. A 31st century scholar might propose that Superman functioned as a myth in all but name. His stories repeating the timeless heroic patterns audiences across generations intuitively recognize. A miraculous origin, a hidden identity, extraordinary powers, and a mission to protect humanity, filling a narrative void that religious and epic traditions had previously occupied. In the times of economic collapse and global conflict, where his
these people won't be martyred for Superman, exactly, Arrow.
Earliest stories are found, Superman offered the public something they desperately wanted to believe in, that overwhelming power could exist on the side of justice, wielded without corruption or ambition, satisfying a deep social hunger for moral clarity. Now, like any analogy, it can break down in the details, but I hope I've illustrated the point. The future Superman apologist is trying to explain the powers of Superman the way Impact Videos is trying to explain the resurrection. The future sociologist is explaining the phenomenon of Superman the way I explain the origins of Christianity.
So maybe someone stole the body?
The problem is the way that you're approaching that, though, is a genetic fallacy, because you're basically applying the fact that there is other events that occurred in history that have similar narratives to the story that all basically like blend together. That's usually these types of people's argumentation, is that there's other religions that came before Christianity or whatever that make like resurrection claims or something like that about their God. But that's a genetic fallacy to assume that an event that is claimed about didn't happen because of the fact that it's similar to a myth in the past. That doesn't actually decrease the weight in of itself.
Body then. That would make sense. Jesus didn't really come back from the dead. Someone took the body.
It makes sense that Impact might want to start here, because it's an objection that the Gospel of Matthew directly addresses, given that the earlier written Mark says nothing about this objection, and contains none of the details that are...
Well, maybe that's because Mark knew Matthew, and there was no need to be redundant.
Or to defend against it. We can deduce that this argument emerged between the writing of Mark and Matthew, around 40 years after Jesus died, and after Jerusalem.
That's implying that this wasn't already being taught by Matthew in that 40-year time span. This is just ridiculous. Like, he's missing the fact that there was a church that existed on the day of Pentecost, and that the apostles were seated in these churches, guiding these people with the Gospels alongside Paul with his epistles. Like, this stuff was still being transmitted, even if it wasn't actually physically written down until years later.
Had fallen. These would have been hypothetical conversations between people a generation later and geographically far away.
So did the Romans steal the body? First off, the Romans would have no reason to steal Christ's body. Their main motive was to keep the Jews at bay and in control.
A better argument here would be that if the Romans wanted the body, they just wouldn't have handed it over to anyone in the first place, thereby avoiding the need to steal it.
Jesus' missing body caused all sorts of commotions that could have easily been avoided if the Romans just uncovered the body they stole.
Assuming the Bible is correct, when and what kind of commotions were being caused to the Romans by risen Jesus? For the first 40 days, Jesus was appearing mostly privately and in secret, apart from one gathering of 500, about which we know no details about when and where. The first public trouble, described in Acts chapter 2, involved only Jewish leaders, as an internal dispute in regard to temple authority. No Romans involved or caring. The first Roman attention was decades later, around the mid-50s AD, when Paul is tried before Roman officials in Acts 24. At that point, if they had Jesus' body on hand, it would have been 20 years decayed, and of no evidential value as it would have been unrecognizable. I don't know what kind of commotions this would solve.
So how about the Jewish religious leaders?
Is he like supporting the fact that the stolen body theory is bad? I'm confused.
I don't really.
Like, I'm trying to, like, I don't know if maybe he's just like agreeing with Impact Ministries that the stolen body theory is bad, or like what? Because like, I mean, I think it would obviously be bad, because if the Romans actually cared about the like trying St. Paul because of the events that occurred, if the Romans actually possessed the body of Jesus, they could have simply just stopped preaching about this shit. It's because we took his body. You know what I mean?
They could have stole it. Well, these leaders would have no motive in stealing the body, since that would only stir up the Christian movement. They killed Jesus to shut him up, so why would they steal his body?
We'll talk about this in a minute, but the Jewish religious leadership was actually legally responsible for dealing with unclaimed bodies. So theoretically, like the Romans, they could have just
unclaimed bodies. They had his lineage and they had his genealogy, so that wouldn't apply to Jesus. Unclaimed bodies, as in people that they can't actually verify their identity or their lineage from. Then the Jewish leaders would be responsible for burying them properly or disposing of them. People knew where Jesus came from. This was announced long during his life.
Kept the body rather than waiting to steal it back.
But you also have Jesus' disciples and followers. It was them. They stole the body. But this doesn't make sense either. History tells us that all of Jesus' disciples except Judas Iscariot and John died for their faith.
History does not tell you that. Wildly exaggerated and unsupported traditions tell you that. Here's the...
You say unsupported traditions, but that's like automatically just writing everything off that comes directly after the events of Jesus as unsupported, right? Like this type of like criteria carries ridiculous amounts of weight if you were to apply it to like everything else in history. Like anything about Caesar, right? Like Julius Caesar. We know most about what Caesar did from the people that came after Julius Caesar. We know about Socrates because of Plato, right? We know about a lot of the other events of these people that they did not write themselves, from the people that came directly after them or the people that continued on to this tradition of what was taught to them. Saying automatically writing it off as unsupportive is simply just actually showing your own bias for it to not be true.
Yeah, that's very much so special pleading for every other case.
Exactly. Every time, like like that's like saying like, oh, well, Saint Ignatius of Antioch, like that's just another biased opinion because he was a Christian anyway. If anyone witnessed any of these events, they would have become a Christian.
Yeah, and I mean another thing, I think that it would be like right to say if we were appealing to people that claim to be historians and not like within the continuity of tradition, like Eusebius. A lot of people don't like Eusebius because of the controversy within his history and like a lot of the quote unquote forgeries that are involved with him. But
yeah,
you know,
there's plenty of things people can use.
Yeah, of course.
The author of Fate of the Apostles, one of the most rigorous modern studies on the topic.
I think there's also been a hyper trust by many Christians who read martyrs and says, hey, they all died as martyrs, and they proclaim it. Well, I've made that claim in the past, so I repent on this show from making that before I did my research. That should be corrected as well.
Assuming you're talking about the 12 here, we have good historical evidence for only Peter, and his death was part of a cover-up for a fire, and lent no evidential backing to his theology. It gets even worse, Because outside of Acts, which is...
So he admits that Peter was in Rome, establishing a church? And that's the only way he could have been crucified there. Or that he was at least teaching in Rome. That would have been necessary for that to be true.
Well, Bryce, did he die in Rome?
Yeah. I'm okay with affirming that. Why not?
We have virtually no evidence that the 12 were even out preaching, let alone being in danger or dying. Only Peter and John made any appearance in contemporary records when they met the Apostle Paul.
That's not true. You can literally read the 1st, 2nd, 3rd century church fathers that talk about the way that all of the other fathers died. That's literally not true. This sounds to me like when he's talking about contemporary, he's talking about like the super mainstream Western academia, like Enlightenment academia, that refer to, like, for example, Josephus as like the main source, or like Tacitus or something like that. And they think for some reason that these people are the ones that needed to announce the deaths of certain apostles.
10 of the 12 faded from reliable history at Jesus' death, never to be heard from again.
So if Jesus' body really was stolen by his disciples, then why would these other 10 men die horrible deaths for their faith?
They didn't die horrible deaths, and knowledgeable Christians...
Again, you can't actually provide anything to suggest it. There is claims that he did. There is not any form of counter evidence in any way, shape, or form that their deaths actually occurred in other locations to other ways. Trying to just basically say that every source that does exist for their deaths is just spurious, and then basically writing it off as and therefore unsubstantiated on its own, that's just dishonest. That's intellectually dishonest. It's ridiculously dishonest.
I wish that you would stop saying this, because you're peddling a false narrative and undermining your own credibility.
Some were crucified.
This is a popular one. There are crucifixion legends for Peter, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Simon the Zealot, and Thaddeus. Of these, the earliest source is from the Acts of Peter, written at least 100 years after Peter's death. If you consider this a good source, you'd also affirm that Peter resurrected a smoked tuna to make it swim, commanded a dog to speak human words, gave a 7-month-old baby a man's voice, and caused a wizard to fall from the sky.
Stabbed.
If you include spearing with...
What if I just conceded all that shit? Who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, that's a dumb argument. That's like saying I affirm one event that happens in the Bible, therefore I also have to affirm the flood and blah blah. Yeah, I do. What's the problem with that? Like,
yeah, really a weird case.
With stabbing, you've got legends for Thomas, Matthew, and Matthias. The earliest source for any of these is a 3rd century Acts of Thomas, which also affirms a talking dragon who claims to be the son of the devil.
Hung.
If this refers to Judas, we have 2 conflicting reports in the Bible. One says Judas hung himself before Jesus rose. So that's not...
I don't think this guy studies at all, because this is a really simple, quote-unquote, contradiction to solve. Thinking that because of the fact that the Bible says that he fell headlong, and then there's a verse where it says that he was hung, that he hung from a tree. Right? So people will say, oh, well, it says that Judas basically threw himself off a cliff and died. In one account, but it says that he hung himself in another account. Both of these things literally can be true in the regards to the fact that a body, especially like in the book of Acts, when it talks about Judas falling headlong, that would have actually taken place a decent amount of time after Judas had already hung himself, meaning that his body would have began decaying and he would have eventually collapsed off of the tree. Who cares?
Not helpful.
That's a really simple contradiction.
The report says he fell forward and his body burst open. Papias provides a 3rd account where he swells with pus.
Because he was a decayed body. Like, what the hell? He died. He was a decayed body.
Fun.
Beheaded.
That could be the legends of James, son of Zebedee, Matthew, or Matthias. James is claimed in Acts, which, while it is no less...
And you know what's funny, too, is that the fact that we also have an account of church fathers in the 1st and the 2nd century being beheaded, eaten by lions, crucified, all of these different types of things, it actually makes it more likely that the apostles also suffered this exact same thing. Like, he's going to have to write off the entire narrative to its fullest degree that the Romans were persecuting Christians. Like, is he just going to deny Christian persecution entirely to try to support his point? if the church fathers all suffered these deaths, and it's pretty clear that that's actually held in really really good continuity, at least for the church fathers, that of course the apostles would have suffered these exact same tortures to some degree.
I think he's just again, he's just denying it for the sake of denying it for argumentation. Everything that he's saying is basically, insofar as we can track it early on, we can deny it in that case, but once we can track it and it is the case, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't
It's
apply.
really easy to see that this stuff was definitely occurring under Roman persecution. So
Yeah, even
what is the issue with saying that all the apostles also suffered from this, even if we didn't have evidence that they did from people? And by the way, the fact that he's even conceding that there's works from the 2nd and the 3rd century talking about the apostles dying in the first place, there's also works from the 2nd and the 3rd century denoting the deaths of people of that time, having the exact same issue done to them.
I think even just following basic probability, they would, it would be more likely that they do suffer in a sense. Than,
considering he tried to use probability and likelihood in the beginning of the video to kind of like set up everything.
Say propaganda-filled fantasy piece. At least it is somewhat earlier. The simple account here doesn't tell us much about the circumstances or its value as attestation.
One had his head clubbed.
The closest for this is a legend about James, the brother of Jesus, who isn't actually one of the 12. This is from a later account by Hegesippus that actually contradicts the earlier and more reliable account from Jewish historian Josephus, who says James was stoned.
Did he just mistake the two James together, James and little James? Because there was two Jameses, by the way. He totally just collapsed those two into one person. He probably thinks that John of Revelation is not even John the apostle either. Like,
he definitely thinks it's like absolutely distinguished.
Some random other John or something like that. Like this is the same type of argumentation that he's doing. He thinks that there was only one singular James, and that the argumentations of their deaths is they contradict each other. No, it's because they're two Jameses, goober.
Romans. Yeah, the book of Romans was written by the Romans, for sure.
Pretty much, yeah.
That part happened after James miraculously survived a fall from the temple parapet.
And someone was even dragged around the city until his body was in pieces.
I've got to admit, I'm stumped on this one. I can't find any named disciple or apostle with a death legend like this. First Clement describes two women who were tied to the horns of bulls and dragged, so maybe that's what he's referring to?
I think that's Mary Magdalene. I think Mary Magdalene is the one that they attribute it to being dragged. Being dragged until her body was no more.
But these women weren't witnesses to risen Jesus, so they don't add anything to the evidential plot here.
Wow.
So, if these disciples all died for this resurrected Jesus...
And they didn't. And educated Christians wish you'd stop falsely claiming they did.
Sean did some great work on that. I think Christians overstate the case when they try and say all of...
There's a live called Responding to Eastern Orthodoxy that appeared in my feed by an account named In Between Sundays. Are you serious? I might even jump off of this because this video is very low tier. What?
Something. Just atonement.
Yeah.
It's in like the... Yeah, with Ernie.
Yeah,
and,
Swordmaster, who was in the chat, and Sam Carter.
Sam Carter, yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see what...
Really,
oh, these are Church of Christ people?
Sam's really...
Bro, what's going on with these people recently?
I guess I had never... Like, I'd never believed...
I think it looks like a tiki.
Well, what's going on? You're good. What's going on with these people lately, man? Like, I've been noticing that the Church of Christ people have really stepped up their, like, attacks on everything.
I don't know, man. I got a lot of Church of Christ people that live near me, and it's like hell, man. Just gonna be honest with you.
Wasn't Joseph Smith martyred for his faith too? No, he died in a shootout in a jail cell, bro.
What does that even matter? Like, Buddhists burn themselves alive, bro. Like, oh wow, it must be true.
He knows so much more about that than I do.
Yeah, no, he didn't literally decide to die for his faith. Just in
the Byzantine scholastic tradition.
So yeah, if you want to see
Byzantine scholastics. Yeah, dude. Saint Gennadios, W.
Go check that out. People were surprised. I'm down for the PSA hate.
Oh, here's servant of the merciful. Here he is, man. Oh.
Yeah,
wait, did I just hear PSA?
Sorry. Not the case. Oh no, even though I'm not COC, even though the COC holds Scripture as a final authority, it doesn't mean that we do not read anything that sheds light on Old Testament, New Testament context. Original context aids interpretation. Yeah. So much of the time, when we were talking about earlier in the...
Gosh, these guys are boring.
So maybe that's what he's referring to? And they
can't prove all the disciples died as martyrs. That's a joke. You can't prove that. Quit saying that the disciples were transformed and they all died as martyrs. We don't know that. First of all, we don't even have all of them, no matter how the sources, how much you count. But most of them are...
Pretty sure we have relics of literally every apostle. Quote me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We don't have relics of John because he was assumed into heaven.
Oh,
fair enough.
Late. They're too late to use as history.
So whatever follows doesn't matter.
Why would they all be willing to die for a lie?
There's no reliable evidence they were willing to die for a lie. There's not reliable evidence they were even preaching, or that they believed Jesus rose at all.
They were in no condition...
This is crazy, the amount of things that he has to just... That, like, he has to write off so many...
There's no reliable evidence that states that Bryce won't give me mod.
To fight the Roman soldiers
Therefore,
that were, by the
Bryce
way,
is going to give me mod.
body of Jesus.
I will let Christian scholars Mike Licona, Gary Habermas, and William Lane Craig address this one more.
I will say that
Oh my gosh.
critical New Testament scholars do not accept the historicity of the report about...
You ready? You ready? Oh my gosh, holy voice crack.
Yeah, that was bad.
That there was no guard in front of the tomb.
The vast majority of New Testament...
Oh, I hate when he talks. Oh my gosh, dude.
Guard story as unhistorical. I can hardly think of anybody who would defend the historicity of the guard at the tomb story.
The freaking church fathers. Craig.
I can hardly think of anybody.
Oh my
except for Molina on his position of middle knowledge.
Bro, I don't freaking care to hear from a partialist. I don't care.
Oh, he's an idiot. You know, like, have you seen that video where he's sitting across somebody and he's like, the Trinity can be explained by the mythological dog Kerberos.
Yeah.
And he just ran. Yeah, dude. It's like he is absolutely...
It's horrible.
And the main
yeah,
reason
senile.
Two, one is because it's only found in Matthew. And it seems very odd that if there were a Roman guard or even a Jewish guard at the tomb, that Mark wouldn't know about it and there wouldn't be any mention of it.
Servant, you're a heretic.
Is that nobody seemed to understand Jesus' resurrection predictions. The disciples who heard them most often had not an inkling of what he meant. And yet somehow the Jewish authorities were supposed to have heard of these predictions and understood them so well that they were able to set a guard around the tomb. And again, that doesn't seem to make sense. So
they didn't set a guard around the tomb because of the fact that they thought that Jesus was going to resurrect. That's not why they put the guard there, Craig. They put the guard there so that nobody would attempt to actually go get his body. Because he caused such a deep controversy that the guards or the Jewish/Roman, whatever, I don't remember which one is actually in the Bible specifically, if it's a Roman or a Jewish guard, that they were worried that somebody was going to come attempt to desecrate his body. And they wanted to try to support their customs in some way, shape, or form.
most scholars regard the guard at the tomb story as...
Is Branson's model Cappadocian or not? I'd say it mostly is, yeah. I think Dr. Bo Branson is actually really good with his model. I don't think Dr. Sijiwade is, though. So there's a big distinction between those two guys.
a legend or a Matthean invention that isn't really historical.
So since Jesus' body couldn't have been stolen...
Wait, you haven't exhausted every possible stolen body scenario? A non-disciple fan of Jesus could have stolen the body, like expressed in Justin Martyr's dialogue with Trypho. Early Christian writer Tertullian mentions a rumor of an annoyed gardener, compatible with Mary Magdalene's reaction in the Gospel of John. Most importantly, you've skipped over entirely the one that Christian apologist William Lane Craig calls the only naturalistic explanation of the empty tomb that deserves any consideration. That is, that anonymous grave robbers took the body. Tomb robbery was a documented problem in the first century Palestine. Evidenced by
Can we go from quoting Justin Martyr to William Lane Craig? That's the real question.
Yeah, that's exactly what he just did. Yeah, no, the whole theory about freaking grave robbers and all that kind of stuff is literally not the... First off, the fact that there was a guard there in the first place, that wouldn't have happened. But the fact that he even accepted that there's a theory of the grave robbers there in the first place shows more evidence against William Lane Craig's assumption of like, oh well, people, you know, they would have known that Jesus was going to resurrect if they put a guard there.
Green inscription, an imperial edict specific.
They didn't put dude. If they knew that Jesus was going to resurrect, the guard would have. They would have known the guard was going to do nothing. If they truly understood what it says in Daniel and Isaiah about the resurrection in some way, shape, or form, and the Jews actually successfully interpreted it to the point where they actually knew that Jesus was going to resurrect. This is one of the problems about the Jews, is they didn't understand that. Is that they would have known that the guard would have meant nothing. Putting a guard there would have meant nothing. So they didn't put the guard there because they thought Jesus was going to resurrect. That was not why they put the guard there. They put the guard there to prevent grave robbers because it was a common practice back then. So the whole theory about grave robbers is dumb.
Specifically outlawing the violation of sepulchres and the removal of bodies. The ancient Mediterranean world placed considerable value on corpses, particularly those of people who had suffered violent or untimely deaths. Practitioners of magic and necromancy sought such remains for curse spells, love spells, and rituals involving communication with the dead. Historian J. Duncan Derrett further notes.
Again, if you hold this theory that his body was simply just stolen by grave robbers, then you also have to then hold the position that the apostles then made up the fact that he was resurrected. And if they made up the fact that he was resurrected, now you have to actually provide a motive as to why the apostles would have actually made up this story if they didn't see his body anymore, and actually put them into the Gospels for their own benefit.
Yeah, Bryce, if you don't mind, yeah, that's exactly the point I would have made. If you don't mind me
go ahead.
adding a little bit to it. These guys still need to account for the fact that the apostles, as a group, saw the risen Christ, and that they came to believe this truly. Why? Because they went to their deaths for it. And not only that, you also have the issue of Paul, right? Because Paul was the persecutor of the early Christians, who then became a Christian, and by his own words, it was because of an appearance of Christ to him. So that's not accounted for given the theory that he's given. So there's a lack of explanatory power for all of the data, right? He's zooming in on one thing.
It's funny too because like his the whole lack of like explanatory power on the other side thing, he thinks isn't actually an issue for his position, because every time that like we actually provide evidence towards our position in some way, shape, or form, he immediately writes it off as biased Christian opinion, every single time. He creates an unfalsifiable position, and it's just really dumb. Caesar. Oh, okay. You said breaking news: Alex Soren is converting to Catholicism soon. I prayed to the Rosary for his conversion, and Mary revealed that he's coming to Catholicism. That was not Mary you were speaking to. Sorry, bro.
Notes that the body of a wonder-working rabbi would have been especially prized, useful for creating a
You should read the story of Saint Nikitas of Kiev.
Pilgrimage site, performing spells, or selling as relics, observing that even the aroma of a bone of Jesus would have been worth a fortune. Anonymous thieves have means, motive.
By the way, Bryce.
Yeah.
One thing he would have to do is also show any historical evidence of anyone claiming to have taken the body of Christ or to be selling his bones, for example, as kind of religious items or items that have.
And he was a major deal in his time. Jesus was a major deal to all the people. So if somebody successfully did take his body, there would have been, in some way, shape, or form, evidence of any kind, any writings whatsoever of somebody actually making this claim. There's not a single one. It's a complete argument from silence.
Exactly.
Can you tell me the story briefly, sir? Oh, so Saint Nikitas of Kiev, he decided to go into seclusion against the will of his own abbot, and basically asked for knowledge of future things that are going to occur, and also asked for the gift of prophesying and performing miracles, all these types of things. And he ended up actually seeing something that he saw as an angel appear, and said that he was an angel from God, but he wasn't an angel from God. He was actually a demon that basically convinced him to fall into a major despair. Because Galatians 1:8 is not, it's not just simple advice. Who made this video? Paulogia.
Okay.
Backing.
Let's look at the wrong tomb theory. This theory says that the woman who reported the body missing.
Okay, well, I hope these aren't all going to be surrounding the empty tomb, because the empty tomb is not the same as resurrection. On top of that, the most celebrated resurrection scholar of our generation, Gary Habermas, will tell you that the empty tomb isn't an affirmed historical fact to be explained.
People just blame me a lot and say, oh, you say the empty tomb is one of your minimal facts. I have never said that in print. I've never said it. I don't know where they get this, but I've never said it in print or in a debate that the empty tomb is one of the minimal facts.
And as this very video will later understand.
And it's important to note that the empty tomb didn't convince any of the disciples that Jesus rose again.
The empty tomb is not a fact to be explained. It's also not the reason any of the first...
Is he conceding the tomb was empty? It sounds like he's at least accepting the fact that the tomb was empty, which is already still an issue for his own position.
Definitely.
I mean, if he accepts the empty tomb, like, the rest of the claims of the apostles afterwards does become more likely if the tomb truly was empty.
Yep. And by the way, the fact that Jesus was buried in a tomb makes it even more likely, because the burial of someone to die such a death would not be in a tomb, right? This was a rich man's burial.
Yes.
But
Joseph
because
of
of Joseph of
Arimathea.
Arimathea,
Yeah.
he buried him, exactly.
Christians became Christians. And personally, I don't see any reason to entertain empty tomb explanations until we have sufficient evidence that there even was an empty tomb. Again, even Gary Habermas has to admit that it's not well supported enough to be considered a fact to be explained. It's plausible that Jesus' body ended up somewhere known, but it's far from certain. If that sounds strange, ask yourself the question, what was the fate of the bodies of the thieves said to have been crucified on either side of Jesus? Did anyone at the time know? The answer depends entirely on who did the disposal. If it was the Romans, well, there's overwhelming evidence that part of the punishment across the empire was the shame and embarrassment of leaving the body up on the crosses for days and letting birds and dogs feed on it before dumping the bodies in a mass grave. While I'm personally unconvinced, some people think that the Romans weren't in charge of the bodies in Judea at this time. So next,
It's not that they weren't in charge of the bodies. It's the fact that the Roman pagans, even though that they were a persecuting bunch of people, they made deals with the Judaic state when they annexed Jerusalem. They made deals with them to where they would at least try to respect their customs to a degree. That's the reason why when a Roman would catch a Jewish person committing some kind of law, or committing some kind of breaking of the law or something like that, they would persecute them on the civil side, right? They would provide them with some form of punishment on the civil side, and then they would also hand them over to the church or the synagogue, if they were Jewish, to receive spiritual punishments. They did respect those things, and it's clearly evident in history that that happened. You can read that in Josephus. That was a common historical fact, that the Romans respected the culture to a degree for the Jewish people and allowed them to basically kind of be involved in the government to a degree. So trying to like think the whole like, oh, well, I think it's unlikely that the Jews actually had control of these things. They did have control over these things, because the burial of a man, that's something that's melded into the culture. That's melded into respect for culture. If they knew that the man that was being crucified was a Jew in some way, shape, or form, and the Jews said, we need his body, the Romans were like, go ahead. Happened all the time. Usually the people that were left to be eaten by birds were Romans who committed crimes like that.
Next up for body disposal would be the family of the victim, if the family was influential enough to get an audience with officials.
Joseph of Arimathea definitely would have been influential enough. He was an extremely rich man who was also embedded to a degree with the Roman state because of how rich he was. So he also had extreme, I guess, what's the word for that?
Influence?
Yeah, he had extreme influence on these types of things. He could have, I mean, it could have been as crazy, and even though it may not be explained in the Bible, it could have been crazy as him literally just offering a ton of money to the Romans to say, let me have his body, I'll give you all this money so that you don't do something to him, right?
given that the Gospels describe Jesus' family as humble carpenters and explicitly rejects the notion that Mary ended up with the body. We can leave this option for another time. Third up is the...
He just skipped Joseph of Arimathea. He doesn't even know about him.
Interestingly enough, Bryce, I'm not an expert on the Shroud of Turin. However, the Shroud's material is the same kind of material found in the temple quarters where the high priest and the Pharisees would be, and it's only something they would have access to. But Joseph of Arimathea would have had access to it as well.
Yeah.
Which is funny how Joseph of Arimathea burying Christ and using a cloth from that place makes sense historically, and we have that with the Shroud.
Exactly.
The Sanhedrin. There is no fourth up. The Sanhedrin was required to dispose of any bodies that fell through the cracks of the government and families, lest these unclaimed bodies defile the land. Now, because
You just admitted that the Romans actually allowed the Jews to take care of unclaimed bodies per the Jewish culture. So that means that the Jews would have had control over Jesus' body in general. He literally just contradicted himself. He just said that it's unconvincing that the Romans didn't have control over Jesus. Or that it's unconvincing that the Romans did not have control over Jesus. So he's making the insinuation that the Romans possibly had control over what happened to Jesus' body. But that doesn't work because he just admitted that the Romans made a deal with the Jews to make it to where the Jews could properly bury somebody because of the fact that their genealogy is not found in some way, shape, or form. That's a cultural request. You think the Romans give a shit about that? They don't care about that. They don't think that they don't think the land's being desecrated by an unlineaged Jew. They don't even think that their God is real. Like they don't care about any of that stuff. That was out of the fact that they allowed that to happen. God bless Lewis.
Jesus was killed as a criminal, his body couldn't go with the general population, but had to be placed in one of two designated criminal graveyards, where no mourning or veneration would be allowed to take place.
And that's not the gospel account
would not be a
at all.
unique, marked, remembered spot that could be revisited later. Joseph of Arimathea, the character of the Bible who conveniently has wealth, influence, and access, simultaneously voted for Jesus to die in the morning, but was a loving disciple by nightfall, is almost certainly a literary invention to cover up for the reality I've just expressed.
Joseph of Arimathea I'm pretty sure he's literally referenced by Josephus as a man that existed. Somebody who's not Christian. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Josephus does mention Joseph of Arimathea.
Yeah, he doesn't mention him in context to Christianity, but he does mention the fact that he existed and the fact that he had a lot of money. So unless Josephus wrote the entire Antiquities of the Jews, with already being influenced by the Bible, implying that he had access to all the Gospels by 80 AD. I mean, dude.
No different than
either way, he loses.
What doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense to me is like the way that he treats sources is he treats Josephus like he's the god of all sources and like he's the only reliable source back then. Like that is very bad. Like what's it called? What, bruh?
Exegesis.
Yes, exegesis, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's just really bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like the argument that Joseph of Arimathea was simply just a literary device to basically make the story seem more believable is ridiculous. There's multiple accounts of Jewish historians in the 1st and 2nd century that talk about Joseph of Arimathea because he was extremely influential. People knew him. People knew who he was.
Than the guards at the tomb, someone like Joseph had to be invented to somehow get Jesus' criminal body to a spot that people could have known about. His tomb being empty is not a fact to be explained because it's far more plausible that the next day no one remembered where it was. Jumping ahead.
How about the hallucination theory?
Here we go. My own hypothesis about the origin of Christianity, the minimal witnesses hypothesis, would be considered a version of the hallucination theory, as it posits that Peter had an experience that he considered to be real, but he was mistaken.
Those crazy Christians.
So that's more parsimonious to him?
That's just like, I don't really understand that idea because every claim that we would have that's early in historical continuity would basically be some set of senile people.
Here's my argument against hallucination theory. I use this all the time. If people had mass hallucination, this is a psychological condition that would occur right? A psychological condition occurs when somebody has underlying beliefs or underlying traumas or understandings for whatever the thing is that they're about to hallucinate is. Especially if it's mass hysteria, the probability of that being required goes up massively. If you affirm the mass hallucination theory, you have to affirm now that the vast majority of people that all mass hallucinated Jesus rising from the dead thought he was going to rise from the dead. But that's not the biblical account. Nobody was. That's the problem with the people, is that they did not know he was going to resurrect from the dead. If every single person psychologically was basically traumatized to the point where they all mass hallucinated that he rose from the dead, they would have all known or thought that he was going to resurrect from the dead in order for that to occur. And that's not the account that actually occurs. And they would have to affirm that the people, even prior to Jesus dying, thought that this story was going to come true, and they would have to affirm, hilariously enough as well, that it's prophesied in the Old Testament that it would occur.
And the funny part is, like, there's like absolutely no priors that show that they would have the exact same hallucination of the type of resurrection.
That's what I was about to say.
The time of resurrection. There's no typology there either.
Exactly. Mass hallucination theory actually just concedes the fact that even though that it's not technically the true position, it still actually makes the resurrection more likely, because the mass hallucination requires a psychological condition of people thinking that they thought Jesus was going to rise from the dead. And if they thought Jesus was going to rise from the dead, that means that they did believe that he was the one that was prophesied in the Old Testament, meaning that there was a prophecy in the Old Testament about the Son of Man resurrecting from the dead. Therefore, all the people that saw him was actually waiting for a true prophecy of the man that died. But that's not even the biblical position. That's the best part. So it's a dumb position to hold to.
It is, absolutely.
Christians were all hallucinating. Those religious nuts.
Post-bereavement hallucinations happen to a huge portion of the population, maybe up to 30% by some studies and definitions, of people who are otherwise mentally healthy. This isn't about being a nut or being crazy.
This theory claims that the appearances of Jesus after the resurrection were either illusions or hallucinations. But this theory is contrary to psychological principles governing the occurrence of hallucinations.
Oh, really? How so?
According to 1 Corinthians 15:6, Jesus appeared to over 500 people.
He's just going to immediately say that this is unsubstantiated.
At one time.
Oh, so it doesn't contradict psychological principles. It contradicts the Bible. Those are very...
He didn't even let him finish going.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what? Is he serious?
What a great refutation.
To think that 500 people all saw the same hallucination.
This is true, because the scenario you're positing would be called mass hysteria or social contagion, and those are well studied and documented. Cases like Marian apparition.
No way! No way!
This is hilarious. Bro, because if this is true, right? One, all these people who were seeing the Zaytun apparition were all in the same place. This was over a region.
Oh my gosh!
It is quite literally impossible for people who are far apart to have the
no way
same
he just
hallucination.
used Our Lady of
compared
Zaytun
private
as an
revelation.
argument for that.
Private revelation versus public revelation.
Oh my
That is an
gosh.
analogy. Amazing. That
UFO
is
sightings or dead Elvis sightings are all...
He just compared Our Lady of Zaytun to freaking UFOs, bro.
and Scooby-Doo.
And Scooby-Doo.
part of a family of phenomena here.
Oh,
God
Lots of
curses
people
man.
come to
God, please, freaking anathema! Holy shit!
think they've seen the same thing, even if they haven't.
You know how
I
we
don't think
anathematize the god of Muhammad? We should just anathema this dude, this random dude.
This is crazy. Because I don't
It's like,
for a minute.
it reminds me of that one dude yesterday, bro. Mistake me if I'm wrong. He just has to say that before every sentence at this point, bro. It's just like, it's just a mistake every time, dude. What are these comparisons?
Think there were 500 people seeing Jesus. But let's keep things accurate.
And then some were willing to die.
Oh, Isaiah, are you talking about Free?
Wait, is that his name, Free?
Well, Free Noods.
I don't know, dude, but he was
that's
like,
the dude that came up here and just like said a bunch of just like crazy shit like over and over to us while we were trying to explain the position. It was like the beginning of like the stream last time.
Mistake me if I'm wrong, but
yeah,
die for it. And if they were hallucinating,
you can't even demonstrate that the 12 were willing to die for it. So the
mistake me if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, that guy. No, I can't remember who that was. That was
500 being
somebody that
willing
was
to
up here with
die
us, though.
is quite an overreach. We don't even know a single name of anyone in the 500, so that would be quite a trick to prove.
Oh
Jesus'
my
body would have
gosh.
still been
500 being willing to die is quite an overreach.
It's not an overreach. The amount of people that were persecuted by the Romans is pretty commonly known in history. The vast speed that Christianity spread over anything else that's ever existed in humanity is evidence towards the 500.
It's just like probability doesn't apply to any of these arguments. It's
No,
just
not
like,
at all.
oh, there's a lack of, therefore.
Yeah, there's a lack of
Like-
this, and my naturalistic worldview supposes this can't happen. Like, that's what
He just
all of this
denies-
is from.
He denies induction.
This is all
Don't even
just
know a
arguments from
single
silence,
name of
bro.
anyone in the 500, so that would be quite a trick to prove.
then Jesus' body would have still been there.
Not if people don't know where the body was, as is most likely the case for any given crucifixion victim.
And then those possessing it would have produced it.
Again, when? Because after a few days of decay, the body of one beat-up crucifixion victim is going to be pretty indistinguishable from another. Producing the body would have changed.
That's not true, because the way that Jesus was beat up and persecuted during the during the time of him being crucified was much, much more severe than the average crucifixion. So his body would have been much more dismembered and much more maimed than any other body. They didn't do the amount of damage to Jesus' body as they did to other people. That's one of the major parts of it.
Very few minds.
Well, maybe it's the swoon theory. The swoon theory states that Jesus never died. He merely fainted from exhaustion and loss of blood. Everyone thought he was dead, but later he resuscitated, and the disciples thought it to be a resurrection.
This is put forth almost exclusively by Muslim apologists, because Quran 4:157 explicitly states that the Jews did not kill Jesus, nor did they crucify him, but it was made to appear so to them. This is basically a faith position, not unlike the resurrection.
Only one Muslim
In
says that.
reality, there's only one.
I've never heard a
known
Muslim
case
give
of a
that argument.
crucifixion victim surviving, and
I'm
that
pretty sure some of like the older, like some of the oldest Muslim scholars made an argument like that.
Ibn Taymiyyah or something, bro.
Yeah,
Which is funny that the scripture literally answers
Ibn
that.
something bin whatever.
Ibn, yeah. Ibn Samalaba.
Yeah,
or
man
something
was
like that.
taken down early and was treated by the emperor's own physicians. This is a stretch, no pun intended.
This was a weak theory. Next, the relocated body theory. This one says that the tomb of Jesus was empty, not because he resurrected, but because the body was simply relocated. Thus, the disciples mistakenly believed that he was resurrected. This relocation hypothesis gains support from the fact that reburial was common in ancient Palestine. However, Jewish tradition differs. Jewish tradition was to bury a body for 1 year.
Wait, he's gonna say the Romans had responsibility, not the
I know.
Jewish people.
Yeah, I know.
There's
he
no
is.
evidence for the Jewish.
What's up, JC?
Yeah, I saw you were watching this dude, and I thought I would. What is this about? Is this like the hallucination theory stuff?
It's about like pretty much just every type of argument that Impact Ministries use to attempt to show how like all of the naturalistic explanations for the resurrection are dumb. Which it's a good video.
Yeah.
The Impact Ministries video is good, but Paulogia, the atheist guy, is basically just trying to debunk the entire video, and basically say that like he basically just says everything's unsubstantiated every time someone makes a claim, like in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's unsubstantiated because the Christians actually wrote this. Like, that's what he has for like everything.
They'll have to find out the hard way, but let's see what he has to say.
And then after the flesh deteriorated and only the bones remained, they would then remove the bones and place them in an ossuary.
I mean, that is an accurate description of one practice, for sure, but relocated body advocates aren't thinking about this kind of reburial. For example, Dr. James Fodor embraces reburial as part of his RHBS model in his book Unreasonable Faith for explaining Christianity's origins without a resurrection. But he proposes that without the disciples' knowledge, Joseph of Arimathea was merely pragmatically lending the body just a weekend stay due to the imminent timing of sundown and the Jewish holiday, with full intent to move.
This theory is stupid because that means that Joseph of Arimathea would have not told anybody that he was going to do that, and then Joseph of Arimathea then had the body relocated and then didn't tell any of the apostles that it relocated, and Joseph of Arimathea allowed them to all think he resurrected from the dead, and then he just sat in the back and snickered.
I think that's what also Jimmy Aiken mentioned when James Fodor and them debated this.
It was so dumb.
Yeah.
Move it just as soon as possible.
So the hypothesis is that the reason why Joseph reburied the body is because it was only ever intended to be a temporary burial. I postulate that Jesus was placed temporarily in a private nearby tomb and reburied as soon as possible thereafter. As soon as possible would be on Saturday evening. So that's when I postulate Jesus' body was removed from Joseph's tomb and then reburied somewhere else in a mass grave site, presumably. Now, whether Joseph volunteered for this because he was concerned about proprieties being met, or maybe he was slightly sympathetic to Jesus, or whether he was simply who ended up with the short end of the string because his tomb was nearby and the...
Wait, how would he have been able to do it Saturday evening? Isn't Saturday evening the Sabbath? Like, what?
Yeah, that's the Sabbath. He wouldn't have been
Like,
able
what?
to do that on the Sabbath.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's right. Holy shit. That's actually not possible. You'd have to say that Joseph of Arimathea wasn't even actually practicing the Sabbath, which is dumb. That's not true.
And wanted him to do this. Obviously...
Getting raided? Who's raiding? Raid by Jim Bob. What's up, y'all? How's it going? We're reviewing a video by Paulogia on how to destroy Christianity with one simple step, and it's actually the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So...
That's impossible to know. I think either of those is plausible. But
they're currently talking about the body relocation theory.
Whichever the case is, Joseph of Arimathea agreed to bury Jesus in his tomb temporarily to resolve the situation of needing to abide by Jewish law plus...
What's going on, everybody? Oh, that freaking... Wow, that viewer count is going up. Awesome. Welcome in, guys.
The disorder didn't disrupt the Romans or cause other problems. He agreed to this temporary burial. Store the body in his tomb, which was nearby, for one night.
While I think it's unnecessary, it is plausible and academically supportable.
It's not academically supportable. It's not plausible either. Because, like Basil said, Joseph of Arimathea would have had to do that on the Sabbath, which he would not have obviously done that on the Sabbath. And then, as well as the fact that Joseph of Arimathea would have had to have relocated the body and then allowed all of the apostles to then think he resurrected from the dead. And then also, even better, right, them viewing, right, the whole, because Paulogia affirms a hallucination theory. So they would have to say that they thought Jesus was going to resurrect from the dead, and then they all hallucinated that he resurrected from the dead. Meaning that when they saw that the tomb was empty, right, this created hope in them in some way, shape, or form. But then Joseph of Arimathea stood on the sidelines and then snickered and laughed and didn't tell any of the apostles, oh no, actually I just relocated the body. You guys are freaking out over nothing. He just allowed them all to just be completely deceived by this.
This is like, yeah, this is dumb.
This is an insanely stupid argument.
I don't know why he's trying to defend multiple positions at the same time, because they're not consistent with each other either.
No, they're not. No, they all contradict each other. Like, only one of these could theoretically be the case, like, if it was a naturalistic explanation.
Yeah, and I mean, really, all of these arguments are trying to conglomerate the same principles when they don't work.
Yeah.
Really.
This is simply why the resurrection hypothesis has more explanatory scope than, just postulate. It obviously does, and that's just also true.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jesus went to Stonehenge. Yes, exactly.
And the last
He went to Stonehenge, and then he went to India, and then he learned from the Buddha.
popular alternative to the resurrection is the copycat theory.
He spent the rest of his life in India and China, bro. He learned about all the other religions.
Which says nothing in Christianity is original.
A strong historical case can be made that the ideas associated with Jesus were not unprecedented innovations, but developments drawn from currents already circulating in first century Judaism.
That's called a genetic fallacy. Assuming that if a similar form of story that you automatically attribute, by the way, as mythos, this is why it's a fallacy. You automatically attribute a previous story as mythos, and then when something is claimed about that thing occurring in a certain event, like the Gospels, you automatically write it off as, oh, well, it's just another one of these mythos events that occurred in the past. Like, that's a genetic fallacy. Assuming that something has less credibility because of the fact that there's previous stories that are false about whatever that claim is.
His proclamation of an imminent kingdom of God and final judgment reflects an apocalyptic worldview that figures like John the Baptist were already preaching. His use of parables and ethical emphasis around repentance, forgiveness, and the Golden Rule fit comfortably within established Jewish and Mediterranean traditions. Reports of healings and miracles mirror expectations about charismatic holy men and echo scriptural descriptions of God's anointed figure, particularly...
Is he conceding that the Old Testament already was proclaiming an apocalypse?
I'm pretty sure
He has to.
because
To hold the
he used
apocalypse
the
theory
same-
thing. The apocalyptic preacher theory requires the fact that John the Baptist, first off, already had knowledge of the Old Testament and what he was doing, right? And that he also thought that there was some form of thing that was coming and that this thing properly applied to Jesus. And that Jesus basically, like the apocalypse creature theory is that Jesus basically was convinced by John the Baptist that he was that person and that he wasn't that person before. This completely contradicts, for example, the entire story of Jesus's birth. Even if we don't even have to talk about the virgin birth, is that even if we just say that even if there's claims that there was signs at his birth that he's going to be the Son of God, this is prior to John the Baptist. So the John the Baptist events occur way after Jesus was obviously born.
Messianic readings of Isaiah. Even the roles attributed to him, prophet like Moses, returning Elijah, heavenly Son of Man, come directly from earlier biblical texts.
Yeah, myths do take centuries to develop, exactly.
And Second Temple interpretation. What made Jesus significant on this reading was less the introduction of new ideas, and more the way existing expectations and narrative patterns were gathered and reframed around a single figure.
Jesus
That's a genetic fallacy.
was just another dying and rising god in their tradition of Osiris, Mithras, Adonis, and Dionysus. There's plenty of other gods, religious figures, and mythology guys that died and rose again.
Based on his list and phrasing, this sounds like a reaction to 2007's Zeitgeist the movie.
The religious institutions in this world are put there by the same people who gave you your government, your corrupt education, to set up
Making the frickin' frogs gay.
your international banking cartels, because our masters don't give a damn.
I'm not playing Trepang 2 on frickin' stream, bro. I'll get banned.
Also, yeah, he's already reacted to Metaphysics Mike trying to clip him. It was really embarrassing.
Yeah, I've already reacted to that. It's not worth doing.
You or your family, all they care about is what they have always cared about, and that's controlling the whole damn world.
Or the internet discussions that it's...
The whole damn world.
The whole world, not part of it, the whole.
The whole world. The religions
The
are put
one.
in place so that the government could control you. And that's why the freaking Jesus taught to, keep earthly things earthly and things for God. Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
For your family, all they care about is what they have always cared about, and that's controlling the whole damn world.
The whole.
The whole damn world.
These ideas pre-existed.
What world?
in
The
July
whole
more than a
damn
century,
world.
of course. But unfortunately, the movie version contained many factual errors, which has allowed Christians to hand-wave away this less rigorous version, rather than the more rigorous scholarship. The movie probably did more harm than good to its cause. Far more interesting to me is the work of classicist scholars like Richard Miller, who point out that in the Greco-Roman world, there was a well-known narrative pattern in which a great hero did not simply die, but was translated, taken from the earthly realm into the divine one.
And why do you think the Gnostics came to be?
I just don't see this being the case either, because it just like the teachings all contradict each other. So even the people that follow the origin of these like traditions that would say that there is this like hero that comes about, well, even the soteriology of Jesus Christ is completely distinguished. And if we were just following a consistency of our revelation, oh yeah, he did resurrect, but they were all like senile and they were just claiming something that followed from Greco-Roman paganism. I think that all of these Greco-Roman gods or these heroes do follow from each other in their teachings and principles, but Jesus is like an outlier in that sense.
I mean, like
In that
Jesus
respect.
taught specifically against all of these Greco-Roman pagan gods.
Yeah, they contradict each other. There's no I think that's where the continuity does not follow at all.
The key feature of these stories was a missing body, which signaled that the hero had been exalted by the gods. Well-known examples include Heracles and the legendary Roman founder Romulus, whose bodies vanished and whose followers concluded that they had become divine. Ancient readers with these traditions would likely recognize an empty tomb as a literary symbol of exaltation, and the gospel accounts, with their missing body, post-death appearances...
Yeah, seeing Greco-Roman influence is something that you see in the Gnostics' interpretation of the resurrection. That's what you see the Greco-Roman interpretation in, because they say that Jesus didn't technically physically rise from the dead. They're Docetists. They believe that he was like a hologram, and that he just kind of appeared in a way. But he ascended into heaven and became, or heaven, or the pleroma. He freaking went back to the pleroma or whatever the hell.
Yeah, every tradition also has this case. Like, there's Sufis, Mutazilites.
Final ascent to heaven closely resemble this established pattern. Early Christians themselves noticed the similarity. In the 2nd century, Justin Martyr acknowledged that stories about Jesus rising and ascending sounded like stories about heroes such as Heracles, explaining that pagan myths had copied the pattern ahead of time to confuse people about the true story.
Octavian with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, brother. That is super, super generous of you. I promise you guys some of those lectures are still coming. It's just they're really hard to make. I have to make like really big presentations for them. I don't like just ad hocing lectures because then it's just all over the place and I filibuster a lot. But I do plan on still doing that.
You know, I really wanted to watch your little video on YouTube about the Trinity, but there's like a little paywall and I get really upset.
Yeah, man. Come on, I got 3 videos that are paywalled, bro. 3 of them.
Yeah, bro. I got a wife and kids. Yeah, whatever, dude.
Okay, man.
I almost got fired.
I think it's more likely that the gospel writers drew on these familiar cultural storytelling forms to express their belief that Jesus had been exalted to divine status.
That's implying that the Jews of that time, for some reason, right, were influenced by the Greco-Romans, which is unlikely.
No,
because they were
not.
very, very serious about distinguishing themselves from the Greco-Roman pagans. So if they were just simply using the same narrative that they had to try to write the Gospels, then they're obviously not distinguished from them at all. But historically, it's commonly known that the Jews were very serious about distinguishing themselves.
They were politically distinct.
Yeah.
At that point.
If you'd like to know more, I'd recommend his book, Resurrection and Reception in Early Christianity.
But the only problem with this view is that Jesus of Nazareth actually ate, slept, performed miracles, died, and returned to life.
I trust you can hear the problem for yourself. The biggest problem with the view that Jesus didn't rise from the dead is that Jesus really did rise from the dead. Checkmate, skeptics. If you're starting from a point where a risen Jesus actually ate fish and performed miracles as a fact rather than as an interesting claim to be investigated, well, then you're not actually intellectually honestly considering alternatives. You're living...
All of these accounts are supported by a reliable historical record.
If you consider the Gospels to be a reliable historical record, which I do not, and you should not.
So...
You haven't given an argument as to why. Like, this whole thing, like actually requires you to show that the Gospels are not a reliable method. And you know the funny thing about that is that people like this that attempt to make arguments that it's an unreliable method always utilize naturalistic philosophy. They always just simply appeal to naturalism. Nobody dropped you.
This guy's a guru, dude.
Oh, I thought... Was I not on the panel?
It said that you were joining the panel, and then the second you got up here, you instantly left.
What the heck?
So, after looking at all these other theories, it looks like Christians have some solid evidence that Jesus not only existed, but died and rose again.
That doesn't follow at all. If everything on this list of hand-picked hypotheses failed, that would say nothing at all about whether Jesus rose from the dead. Besides the video having left off many more of the academically rigorous alternatives, the case for Jesus rising needs to be made on its own. It's not a default winner at the end, unless you just...
This is why the Bible is not the only thing that's needed to actually show these things. They always just presuppose that. Oh well, the Bible itself is not just a reliable source. Sure, I can even just say, for the sake of argumentation, that the Bible on its own may not be. You know why? Because the Bible was compiled over time. So sure, whatever. There's a whole history that's tied to how these Gospels came to be that you can read.
Predetermined that Jesus rose from the dead, which seems to be the case for the narrator.
And if he did rise again from the dead, then it forces us to really consider Christianity.
Sure, if he did.
You see, if you want to disprove Christianity, you have to answer to Jesus' resurrection. This isn't something you can dismiss and sweep under the rug.
I have not. I dedicate a lot of time to it. I've torn up the rug.
Because if Jesus did rise from the dead...
You definitely haven't put a lot of time into it, because you should know then that all these arguments contradict each other in the narrative. And even one of them, all of them individually, cause issues for your own belief. That's the best part.
Then he is
I hate the way this guy talks, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
To be God.
Did Jesus claim to be God?
Did he?
Realize that's heavily disputed, right? I think we'll skip the altar call portion of the video and instead remind you that examining the origins of Christianity is not the same as assuming the Bible is true.
Yeah, he does not want to go down that
If you
route.
want to
Dude.
demonstrate that Jesus rose from the dead, you won't make a compelling case by just assuming it's correct. You need to be at least willing to consider that the claims might be false before you can say you've honestly assessed it.
Do you see the freaking looks of all these people that he draws?
Goobers.
These are all his patrons, bro.
I have many more videos about the resurrection of Jesus, and the thumbnail for one.
Holy moly.
One of them may well be.
Hold on. Before the video ends, make this about the Logie.
Sheesh. He's got Logies me in him, dude.
W based. Don't worry, guys. I Logied it.
Ugh. Apologia is insufferable.
You know, I really like Saint Bonaventure, and you really like the Logie. You're like a Maximilian, you know. So like, we're lucky like best friends. You're always talking about the Logie. I can always talk about parsimony and divine exemplars. You know, it's just great, dude.
Yeah, dude. One day ago, freaking Agan apparently debated Voice of Reason.
I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the people he could have debated that was papist, that might be the worst one. I think Peter Diamond would have been more entertaining.
Dang, he actually chose to debate Voice of Reason, bro. Does God know because we do, or do because, or we do because God knows? Both.
We do because God knows.
Both.
Well, yeah. Actually, you're right, but in order of logical priority, anyway.
Yeah, it'd be both.
Yeah, it would. Lol, wow. Bryce, answer my boy Beans question. What are we talking about? Peter Diamond is the best debater of all time. Why are we lying? Also, you're an SSPX.
The Nikolai Korea debate was legendary.
Refute him.
Hi, me drunk? I'm definitely not bringing you up here, bro. Go sober up. For real.
If Peter Diamond isn't the best apologist of all time, then go to
The Nikolai Korea debate was legendary. Bro, I couldn't even actually play a single clip from that because I attempted to play a clip from that and I got literally flagged twice.
Oh, was that the one where it was like the R word?
Yeah, he said the R word like freaking 5 times.
Oh, yeah. We were in the middle watching that JJ video when that happened.
Why won't you get into analytic philosophy? Because it's not patristic.
Satanic.
It's not necessary. It's satanic.
In its origin, it's satanic. Applicable to theology, it's all right, but it's very, very hard to get into. It's better to just...
What is
read the
logical
Father,
priority?
Genesis,
Logical
Code.
priority is something that just in terms of discussion or theological understanding, said thing would come first.
Yeah, you could, just writing it out, you could say that X is a necessary precondition for Y. It doesn't invoke any sort of temporality, so there's no, like, time involved. An example would be that a necessary precondition for the divine person of the Son is the Father, because the Father generated the Son. It doesn't invoke any sort of time, so if an atheist was to say, well, how can the Father be the principle of the Son? Well, you can just say, it was eternal and it was a logical priority, not a temporal priority. You would just say that the necessary precondition for the Son's existence is the Father. It doesn't invoke any sort of time involved.
I freaking... Man, every time I freaking watch those, every time I watch those dang videos from like Paulogia, I've been watching him for a while. Even when I was a Protestant, I used to watch him because I used to freaking, like, my main thing when I was a Protestant was to support the resurrection. That was kind of like the main thing that I cared about.
Now you care about the Logie. I'm sorry.
It matters, bro.
It matters.
It matters so
Someone
much.
someone precept Isaiah. Someone precept this guy.
Hello, Bryce J. I have a question.
Okay.
So, I'm looking at getting into like patristic theology and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been asking around, like, you know, what exactly should I start with? Some people are saying Trinity by Augustine. Most of them are saying Fount of Knowledge, or, you know, on Orthodox Faith by St. John of Damascus. So I was wondering, like, what do you think I should start with?
I gotta baseline you first, bro. I mean, like how much you know, I've always wanted to do this, and you kind of like got me wanting to do it. Maybe everybody who's in chat in TikTok and YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to do this. If not, just put a 2. But I want to see if you guys want me to do this. I will write right now my personal. Now, granted, I'm just a man. I'm just a guy. All right. If your priest recommends you read something else, you always go with that first. But for apologetics purposes, I will write a list. I will write a list right now of the order of works that I believe that you should go through. Starting from absolute basic, in my opinion. I'm just putting that out there right now, to advance over time.
Yeah, and say
Yo,
2.
that's a
say
lot
2.
of ones in the chat. There's 13 at least.
Say 3. Say 3 if you want me to do it.
No, dude. Isaiah's gonna be like, so you have to go to Bonaventure and you have to read the. So the first thing that you're gonna read is Pope Pius IX's treatise for Vatican I. That's the first thing that you're gonna read.
Everybody say 3, dude. Go on.
He said not 3, yo.
Not 3. Yo, the negation is not an option.
I'll do it. All right.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm gonna explain the hypothesis. Oh, he's got his headset off.
So, dude, you know, you guys should, you know, I just want to tell you guys, I really love Bryce J, bro. He brought me back.
I recommend everybody at their first, at the very moment of studying theology, first comprehend the divine mystery. I think the Bible itself is absolutely the first thing that someone should read. More specifically, the commentary of the Fathers. And another thing, the Fathers in their commentary on prayer. A lot of people in the Catholic tradition, they like to read the commentary of the Our Father and the Hail Mary by St. Thomas Aquinas. I think that this can also be applied to the early Fathers, and more specifically the Eastern Fathers. I think that everyone should read the commentary of the prayers by the Eastern Fathers, and also read the Bible and contemplate the divine mystery. St. Bonaventure, and I know that he's not very much of an authority, in his Holiness of Life says that the first step to being spiritual, first step to being a faithful Christian, someone that is holy within the church, is to actually maintain self-knowledge, to know oneself. And he actually quotes St. Bernard, and in saying this, he also says, how can one pry into the mysteries of God? How can one want to discover all of these divine mysteries, yet do not know themselves?
You took that from St. Gregory the Theologian, bro.
No, he didn't. He took it from St. Bernard of Clairvaux.
All right.
Anyways, yeah, I recommend the Bible and the commentary on prayers. That is my first immediate readings.
Alrighty, let me do font.
Because I think that that's how you can contemplate the divine mystery more.
All right, so
and
first,
then thirdly, read the Ordinatio by John Duns
oh,
Scotus.
shut up.
He's so easy. He's so easy to read. He's so easy to read.
Shut up.
I'm not reading.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
All right. Here's the list. Okay. So, if you're an absolute basic man and you're learning the Christian faith to the point of Nicene theology, it would be on the
Syllogistic
incarnation.
chapters.
No, dude. Oh my gosh. On the Incarnation by Saint Athanasius is always going to be the first.
That's not the Ambiguum by Saint Maximus.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to that eventually. About 100 works down.
What about the orations of Saint Gregory the Theologian? I think
Where's
those are basic.
Where's the Philokalia?
I'm not even gonna recommend that to anyone. I've only ever read parts of it for the reading Saint Gregory Palamos' works that are in there, but
No, nobody listen to me. Nobody listen to me. If you actually want my recommendation, just shoot me a DM. But I recommend only Catholics do that, guys. Come on.
Yeah. All right.
Bryce probably knows a lot more about these fathers than me.
Okay, so yeah, so we got On the Incarnation by Saint Athanasius, and then Against the Arians by Saint Athanasius.
Someone said Kant should be number 2.
That's crazy.
That's borderline like apostasy.
That's freaking crazy. So number 2 should definitely be. Should I get Jay Dyer's Red Book? I don't even know what that is. All right, so if I don't mention a work of a father, that's usually me just saying, like, in terms of like learning the actual theology itself, it's not exactly necessary for understanding the generic position. Like, for example, I'm not going to recommend the letter to Serapion or Serapion.
Yeah, he's not
today,
going to.
because it's not really touching up on anything that these two works don't automatically declare. Right?
Somebody says St. Dionysius. That's a good one.
That is a good one, but we'll get to that because that's not something that you should ever start with, in my opinion. And I'll get to.
Wait, hold on. How many? Okay, I do have a question. How many books are you going down? Like 20?
Probably a lot more than that, honestly. I can do this quick.
Bro, come on. Like, why don't we do like spiritual works first, bro? I recommend.
No, because like they're asking for like apologetics purposes, like just in general. Obviously, yeah, you should read the Bible, of course, but like.
Hey guys, I'm just saying. You should really be close to God before you interact online with people, especially.
All right. So
especially people like me.
Yeah. After you read On the Incarnation and Against the Arians by Saint Athanasius, I then think you should move back to the Ante-Nicene Fathers. So starting off with the letters of Saint Ignatius. After that. The reason why it's important to use Saint Athanasius first is so that you understand Nicene theology before you go and read the people that came prior to Nicaea, so you can actually see that theology in them. That matters. Huge. Absolutely massive in order to be able to understand these people. Okay? And that's actually a reason why I'm going to get to why St. Cyril is going to be lower on the list. So the letters of St. Ignatius, and then the works of St. Justin Martyr after that. So that would include First Apology, Dialogue with Trypho. And this is in this order, in my opinion.
On Christian Doctrine.
Exposition to the Greeks, and Exposition of the Christian Faith. That work is a little spurious, but it is still very good. That's why it should be the last one on that. Okay.
Is he going to add the exact exposition of the Orthodox faith by St. John of Athens?
I will, but I'm going to split the books in different orders.
Ooh. So, guys, I know my stuff.
So now we're going to move into the Cappadocians. Okay. Actually, no. Let me do this first. Okay. Saint Irenaeus of Lyons. We're going to do Against Heresies. That would be the next one, in my opinion.
He's doing a list on apologetic books.
Apologetic
Just
reading, like
books.
based off of experience to learning more over time. Okay.
Do you think that we should read, or just like recommending someone that doesn't involve themselves in apologetics, but want to, do you think that it's better to read St. Augustine first, or the Cappadocians first?
The Cappadocians.
In terms of like order.
The
Really?
Cappadocians, yeah, because obviously because I'm Eastern Orthodox, I believe that you should be able to understand Cappadocian theology before you attempt to actually read that with St. Augustine. Because St. Augustine, without any of the Cappadocians' involvement, you can see without understanding the Cappadocians, you can see a difference of the way that they talk.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I mean, it is a big difference.
Yeah.
Of tradition.
So, any other pre-Nicene father is after this. Okay. I had to say that wrong? Nicene. There we go. All right. Next, after that, you're gonna have a pretty good understanding of at least Jesus Christ and who he is, and also the earliest Christians and how they taught about this.
Now you read Raymond Lull. I'm just kidding. That would be so insane. De Trinitate, please, bro. Just like that's the first one.
No, it's not.
Dude, let's be honest.
On the Confession of Faith, bro. Like, what?
Saint Basil the Great.
Saint Basil the Great on the Holy Spirit.
So true. You mentioned the all-wise Basil Great in all ways.
Yes.
He's
Like
he's very amazing. I can't lie, guys. Saint Bonaventure. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
bro.
I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it.
Next is next is on the Holy Spirit by Saint Gregory of Nyssa.
I think William of Ockham speaks on this. He actually says.
Shut up.
You know, I'm just playing with. You know, I would never do that.
Next would be On the Trinity by Saint Gregory of Nyssa.
You mean On Not Three Gods?
No, that's a different work. Low tier. I'm kidding.
You would say that to read On the Trinity before On Not Three Gods?
Correct.
Interesting.
You won't understand On Not Three Gods if you haven't read On the Trinity because
Yeah,
Saint Gregory
Grant, I don't know
of
what
Nyssa
you're
defines
talking
the
about,
Trinity
dude.
there.
Apparently, you haven't read William of Ockham on the Attributable Perfections, dude.
Okay, bro.
Yes.
Nobody should actually do that, please. Please don't. Don't.
But where does
don't-
Saint Gennadios against Aquinas come in here?
You'll see.
Nice.
No, let's not do that. Let's not actually recommend that to anybody.
This is Orthodox, bro. This is an Orthodox reading list. On Not Three Gods by Saint Gregory of Nyssa would be next. Absolutely.
And then you read De Trinitate.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Hold on. 2.5 would be the Didache. I'm going to put this right here. Apostles. GG's.
Okay, hold on, Bryce. So would you recommend someone reads Origin on First Principles?
After they've gotten a full understanding of Trinitarian theology first.
So you do recommend someone can read Origin?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so now we've got On Not Three Gods by St. Gregory of Nyssa. And then the Great Catechism by St. Gregory of Nyssa. This goes over a bunch of other things other than the Trinity, but it also does reference the Trinity. Okay. And then on the
When does the Ambigua come in?
Later. St. Gregory of Nyssa is on the faith.
You notice how he's not adding St. Augustine because he doesn't want you to become Catholic, guys?
That's not why. I'm going to show you when to do that.
Are you admitting that if you read like all of those other saints, you won't become Catholic?
No, he's not actually doing that. He's just recommending. I'm just playing, guys.
I know.
Okay. Now,
me and Bryce actually.
by St. Gregory of Nyssa, so that you can
This is
understand Apollinarianism.
Giant list, man.
Yep, I'm going through all of it, bro. I'm going through basically what I did, like, to get to where I am.
Is this really what you did?
Yes.
I give
now we're gonna
I
go.
give dual.
Now we're gonna go back to Saint Basil against
Did you guys? I give dualia to every single letter that Saint Bonaventure has ever said in any of his books.
Oh my gosh.
Just letting you guys know.
And then this one, this is gonna have a conditional to it, okay? If you're up for it.
Somebody said, "Yo, Bryce, why do you have 0 reading time on these books?"
It's not even true.
Well, you gotta move the camera.
That'd be so funny, dude. Did you imagine he's just LARPing and he's just giving you guys books he's never read in his life?
Yeah, I know.
That'd genuinely be funny. Hey, move your camera. Yeah, there you go.
There. All right. Now we got against Eunomius, if you're up for it, St. Gregory of Nyssa. The reason why I say that is because that's like 1,300 pages. St. Gregory of Nyssa's against Eunomius is extremely large.
He had a lot to say.
Yep.
Like, is it skippable or?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of these aren't like necessary.
Yeah, this is just kind of what I did here.
Hexameron. Interesting.
By St. Basil. That talks about the creation of the world.
Somebody said.
Notice how Bryce didn't put the Bible.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, dude.
Everybody, I recommend this. Okay, this is for apologetics only. He's not giving you like a formal reading list for everything.
This is not spiritual, like just advice or anything like this. This is simply just apologetics to understanding us.
And I think Bryce would agree that one should read the Bible, comprehend our belief insofar as the revelation of God, and have a strong spiritual attachment and permission from the laity before we actually engage in apologetics, including a blessing.
Yes, you should read this for a math quiz.
All right, so the next one on here is De Trinitate by Saint Hilary of Poitiers.
When does Saint Jerome come in here where he's like cursing his best friend because he was an Origenist? Is that niche?
That's pretty niche, yeah.
Well, this is Trinitarian works now, so.
Yes.
You just wait until he gets on the works of the Filioque. It's gonna be like so bad I'll have to leave and like cover my ears.
Real, dude.
Actually, no, I might have to like close my eyes and start reading Saint Bonaventure as if he's like a psalm.
Next one would be On the Councils by Saint Hilary of Poitiers. That's really, really good as well.
So what happens when Bryce puts an anti-filioque works De Trinitate by St. Augustine?
Exactly, dude. All right, and then here we go.
Well, actually, it's very consistent with the Florentine definition of the Filioque.
Exposition of the Christian Faith by St. Ambrose. And then On the Holy Spirit by St. Ambrose.
This is amazing.
I'm going to get into some niche stuff too. You just wait. I'm going to get into some super niche stuff later.
He's only saying this because I'm here and he knows I'm an Akamai. I'm just kidding. Nobody, no, nobody actually.
So where does
nobody
the
actually believe that.
at this?
Nobody actually believed that. William of Ockham was a material heretic, and he was actually excommunicated for his political offenses against the church.
Can you prove that?
This next one is spurious on whether or not it was actually written by this guy, but the doctrine is really good on it. It's On the Trinity by St. Gregory Thaumaturgus.
Why was that funny? I don't know why that was so funny.
There's people that think that Apollinaris wrote that, but that's not actually substantiated very well.
Occam
So when does
is
Leontius of Byzantium come into play?
I'm a Bonaventure.
Forgery.
I am a strict
All right.
observant Bonaventurian.
Here we go.
No,
Are you guys ready? We're about to get serious.
Saint Augustine.
Yes. Now we're gonna do
St.
Saint
Gregory
Augustine.
Palamas.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's finally doing it.
Wait,
guys.
St. Augustine before St. Ignatius? Hello?
Well, actually, no. Hold on.
Yes?
Before we do that, St. John.
St. Ignatius.
Hold on. St. John Chrysostom's exposition of the entire Bible.
Real.
So
Yeah,
literally every work
Yeah.
of St. John Chrysostom explanation of the
Yo,
entire
yeah,
Bible.
you're gonna be stuck on what is that, step 16? Yeah, for about a year. Yeah.
A year?
Oh,
Bryce,
yeah.
you need to recommend
Bryce
the
knows damn
sentences.
well he hasn't read all of Chrysostom on his homilies.
We need to recommend the sentences by Peter Lombard.
No.
That's a pretty good one.
No.
Yeah, it is, man. Come on.
All right.
It's like an ordinary criminal.
De Fide, Book 1 by St. John of Damascus.
All right, guys. I'm going to read out question 5. St. Bonaventure's commentary on the sentences, whether or not the ideas in God are numerically finite or infinite, while Bryce sprouts some misinterpretations of St. Augustine. I'm just kidding.
Next would be the philosophical chapters from St. John of Damascus. De Fide, Book 1. Are we dead ass?
Why would
I
you
am
read
dead ass.
De Fide before philosophical books, the philosophical chapters, bro?
Because philosophical chapters gets into a bunch of stuff that doesn't have anything directly to do with
Philosophical chapters is also where he defines his terms.
The logistic chapters next. Right. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It'll be here.
It will be here. I know.
All right, we're going to push up a little bit. Let me know if you need anything prior to that one. Okay. Next, we got De Trinitate by St. Augustine.
Oh, I love you. God
Actually,
bless
no,
you.
I got something first.
Oh, come on, dude.
De Fide et Symbolo first.
Yup.
By St. Augustine. That's always
that's
the
good.
first one that you read. In my
Bryce may have not laid hands on all of these books, but he's actually, read them.
I've read them online.
Yeah. If he actually laid hands on these books, he'd have like the best, most holy library of all time.
Yeah. Arianism
Like he could
and Other
actually-
Heresies by St. Augustine after that.
He could actually give like dualia to his wall. Pretty well.
I mean, he could do it to his computer then.
It'd be pretty weird if he started kissing the computer screen, though.
Next would be
But when
Tractates
does
on the Book
Contra
of John.
Julian become into play here?
It will. Tractates on the Book of John by St. Augustine. And then City of God by St. Augustine.
Is Saint Demetrius Stanila going in here?
Yeah, he will. The
This is like a-
Enchiridion by St. Augustine.
This is like 5 gigabytes of books, by the way.
Yeah, they're all in my server, by the way, in case anyone wants them. Sermons by St. Augustine.
Holiness of Life by St. Bonaventure. I'm sorry.
Yo, why did Kata just DM me saying, when is Bryce going to put the Summa on there?
Yeah, Cat is a goober for that one.
I have permanently cemented myself as like
POV, he
someone.
didn't actually DM me. I just wanted to make that joke.
Next time Bryce watches a video and I'm in here and I'm trying to add like my opinion, nobody's gonna listen to me anymore because I keep adding my opinion on St. Bonaventure.
Next would be Against Julian by St. Augustine.
Yeah, me and Rick vindicated.
Great Trinitarian work.
Somebody said, "Don't forget Vinland Saga."
What? Yo, Rick, I think I can count on my fingers how many times he may give a Trinitarian quote in Against Julian.
Yep. Against the Fundamental Epistle of the Manichaeans by St. Augustine. We'll put it up here. We'll just put post-Nicene. All right. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
What?
I don't know about all that, Chief. If y'all want to be like Bryce, adjust your priorities. Bryce has great priorities. He does. This is why he only goes live every like 2 weeks, because he has good priorities.
It's like once a week.
Let's be honest here.
Next, On the Person of Jesus Christ by Saint Justinian the Great.
That is very true. I'm just gonna call you Bryce's wife. because I don't know how to pronounce that name. Actually, I probably do. That is a forgery as well. I agree.
Widolio? Do you not know how to pronounce the name?
Andre Lopez says what? Oh, sorry, not Andre Lopez. Yeah, Ericoda said, "Don't forget Vinland Saga."
Yeah, I just said that. You're just stealing my flow now.
Dang, someone said all that reading just to get fodderized by Metaphysics Mike.
I
Crazy.
know, dude. I know that was freaking rage bait from Anarchy. I know that for a fact. On my soul, on my own soul, that was rage bait.
On my own soul.
Wait, did you just say on your?
No, you gotta do what we all do. Just say on Sig Soul.
All right, you guys just wait. He's gonna keep giving you books, but then he's gonna recommend and start ranting about the Logi, and it's over. 40-minute lecture.
Get ready.
Wait, what's gonna be the issue with that?
Wait. Saint what? Leo the Great? Saint what? Leo the Great?
Saint Pope Leo the Great.
Based.
Yeah, I don't like the way that's formalized. It should be Pope Saint Leo.
Pope Saint Leo. Sorry, Pope Saint Leo the Great.
Yeah, good job. That was a good correction.
My bad.
Yeah.
By the way, notice how I have not recommended Saint Gregory Nazianzen yet. I will explain.
Yeah. Well, of course. Like what?
Wait, can we get St. John Chrysostom's opinion on women in here? Like,
Against the Pelagians by
oh my gosh,
Saint Jerome.
Oh, we already added St. Jerome. It's over.
Yo,
Everybody.
so when are we getting on the Holy Spirit by Saint Ambrose?
As soon as they start reading St. Jerome, they're going to start anathematizing everybody. That's this is that phase of their reading.
Yes,
Basil, it's already there.
Where?
This is the anathema phase.
Number 14.
Somebody said Boethius. That is a very, 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 very good recommendation.
Basil, check Discord DMs.
We can't have any flirting in the live, guys.
Well, this guy in the comments is tweaking, bro.
All right.
Bro, please say that.
Book 2
Yeah,
and
please
3 from St. John of Damascus is next.
Wait. Somebody said we should all read Against the Heresies of the Unorthodox Bryce J by Metaphysics Mike.
Nice.
Yo, Rick has a recommendation, Bruce.
I don't know the name of the work, but it's by Isidorus Nikitas.
That's ball knowledge, bro.
Is Day Fide, is that on the Orthodox faith or no?
That's some ball knowledge that makes me still sad to this day. What?
When does Anselm get on here? No? Just me?
Yeah, just you.
Anselm?
Just you.
Of Canterbury?
Bryce
No, of Nebraska. What the fuck? What?
So Tarico's
Hey,
gonna be on
Bryce,
here, right?
hey, I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit, all right?
Name one other Anselm.
Halvenberg.
Yo, I was just clarifying that he just named one of the goats. Okay. I was like, there's no way.
Anselm of Halvenberg was like one of the main filioque debaters. I think he went to like Nicaea or Constantinople to debate. I forget the Greek guy's name. Nikita something.
Why is it just letter 12?
Letter 12 through 15 is specifically argumentations against Monophysites.
So he just numbered his letters?
Are you serious?
I'm just playing with you.
Are you serious?
I'm just rage baiting you, bro.
I can tell.
Oh my gosh.
All right, now that you've read De Fide Book 2 and 3 from St. John of Damascus, and you've read letters 12 through 15 by St. Maximus the Confessor, these two are Christological works that basically argue for the Chalcedonian position of Christology. Now we'll read St. Cyril of Alexandria. Okay? And we're
Bryce
going
is
to
doing
read
this
the tomes against Nestorius. Be first.
And this is when people become Oriental because they watch Agan.
For real.
Don't do that, please, guys. Please don't watch Agan. Don't fall for the Republican, pragmatic, anti-pragmatic propaganda that Agan releases.
Next would be the letters of St. Cyril of Alexandria.
Somebody said Joshua Sijuwade, where? in the pits of excommunication. He's somewhere in in one of these councils. He's in the first council or the second council of Constantinople. He's already been excommunicated.
Next would be three crystal.
Yeah, so
three
you know when the
Christological
church
treatises.
excommunicated Origen? Yeah, right then and there.
That's basically what I just said.
So the three Christological treatises of Saint Cyril of Alexandria that contain stuff like On Orthodoxy to Theodosius and a defense of the 12 anathemas. So that would be those ones.
Somebody said Vlad the Impaler's How to Build a Forest Out of Christ's Enemies. I agree.
You should do On the Nature of God by Andrew Wilson.
Yo, that's ball knowledge. Yo, so where does esoteric Hollywood come into play?
Okay, can we put in here the Book of Concord?
Dude.
No, real talk.
Right.
When does the mystagogy come on here?
All right, next. You'll wait. Just wait. The Thesaurus on the Trinity by Saint Cyril of Alexandria. And then finally, for the things that are essential to learning Saint Cyril, the Dialogue on the Trinity by Saint Cyril of Alexandria.
Is St. Gregory the theologian not here yet?
Not yet, no. Okay. So now that we've gone through that for Saint Cyril, and obviously I'm not saying don't read the other works that are...
Yeah, everybody read the aesthetical homilies by Isaac of Nineveh. The very first. That's what you read very first, right? And then you read the Triads second. Okay.
Yep. Next,
without any.
And then you read the Divine Ladder of Ascent after that.
Next, number 38, you read Against the Monophysites by Leontius of Jerusalem. In my opinion.
Forgeries.
Okay. And then this is kind of a random one that I threw in there, but I did read this in this order, so I'm going to put it on there anyway.
You're a deep thinker. If you just put your questions in the chat, I'll answer them for you if you'd like me to.
The Commonitorium by St. Vincent of Lerins.
Or you can come up. I don't know if Bryce is okay with you coming up. He's an agnostic Christian.
I'm currently doing a list at the moment, man, but after I'm done, maybe that'd be okay. I want to get through this because I want people to have this. Now we're at the Commonitorium by St. Vincent of Lerins.
Is the Commonitorium like about this, like the Christology and stuff?
No, this is actually just a general work about the Christian faith from the perspective of St. Vincent of Lerins, which is really good because he's actually a very good exegeter.
What exactly is the reason to become Eastern Orthodox? I'm not an Eastern Orthodox Christian, but they would say that it...
Because like there's plenty of other works that like I could put in here, but like for example like works of like Saint Ephrem the Syrian, like A Word on Heretics or like commentary of the Diatessaron, but like they're not really too they're not too crazy to like read when it comes to like a list of like apologetic works, if that makes sense.
The reason to become Orthodox, just from a Catholic perspective, I'll just be objective. The apostolic churches, or the churches that fall from the lineage of the apostles, they have a historic continuity with the early church, and in this continuity they preserve the true revelation of Jesus Christ. So the Eastern Orthodox claim, which is regarded highly consistent by the people within the church and some people within the Catholic tradition, they would say that it's true because of the case that it follows from the continuity of the apostles and the early church fathers. Also, there's many contradictions present in the Protestant churches, and they would claim that the Catholic Church has a lot of contradictions present within it, not only historically, but theologically and philosophically as well. Obviously, I'm Catholic, so I would have personal disagreements, but...
So, number 40 through 42, it would be the rest of the epistles of St. Maximus the Confessor. So now you're in the St. Maximus arc, and this is where things start getting kind of crazy when it comes to the deepness of theology, like pretty hardcore. Because after you've actually been able, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So starting to get into more advanced works here.
Why is the church considered on specific denomination? Well, we would say that there's a physical body and a spiritual body.
So these works here, I highly recommend that you do not start reading these works until you have a very good grasp of everything that's in everything right here first.
Hey, Bryce, I'm going to drop out.
All right,
Y'all have a good night. God bless.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Good talking to you. Top of the morning to you.
All right.
If you read the Opuscula, just don't read Joseph Farrell's translation.
All right, and then after that, we have Ad Thalassium.
I don't know. I think Atalassium's kind of more basic.
I think the peak of, like, I don't know, if I had to really get into the Eastern traditions, Gennadius Scholarios is probably the most, like, scholastic and accountable with my understanding of process theology. Also, I would definitely be Dionysian, like 100%. I don't seem to be sure which church fully preserved apostolic teaching. Well, that question, depending on who you ask, if you ask Bryce, it's going to be different than if you ask me.
But
I
anyway.
think that the Catholic Church preserves the early church teachings.
Number 43 would be Ad Thalassium by St. Maximus the Confessor. And then next would be the 200 chapters on theology by St. Maximus the Confessor. And then the 250 chapters on love by St. Maximus the Confessor. And then the Ambigua by St. Maximus the Confessor. Okay? Now that you've read all of that, because in case you guys didn't know, the Ambigua from St. Maximus the Confessor is a commentary on St. Gregory Nazianzen. That's the entire point of it. So now we move back to the Cappadocians temporarily, to his orations of St. Gregory Nazianzen, or St. Gregory the Theologian. It is absolutely necessary that by the time that you get into the orations of St. Gregory the Theologian, that the Ambigua is read first, because the Ambigua is the commentary. Reading the commentary of it before reading the oration itself is a good idea. Okay? So, if you have access to it, not very many people actually have access to this, but the Scholia on Dionysius would be the final thing that I would recommend from St. Maximus the Confessor generally. And then after that, all of St. Dionysius's works.
Thank you. Very, 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 very holy man of God.
Indeed. Okay.
Now we get into St. Gregory, Palamas, and St. Gennadius.
I got a couple more here, and then we're going to start getting into post-schism.
Oh, Mark of Ephesus, bro. Y'all just wait.
All of the works of Theodore Abukara.
Somebody said, could you drop the list in Discord? I recommend you probably make like a channel on this, bro.
Yeah, I can make a list after this and or I can take this list and get that in Discord, no issue. But yes, all of the works of Theodore Abukara after you've read all of these. Okay. He has things like the Autodidactus, that Christianity is from God, discerning the true church, on union and incarnation, confession of faith, the Trinity against the Saracens, which is against the Muslims, and Greek fragments. So there's plenty. There's actually a PDF that's in my server as well that contains the complete works of Theodore Abukara, so you can read all of those from there. Really good translation as well.
Being like a Catholic apologist is way different than being an Eastern apologist, bro.
The next here would be Eastern Orthodox specific targeted works. Okay, so this is now getting into justifying the Eastern Orthodox position specifically. Obviously, like, I believe that all of this stuff does that as well, but it's important, obviously, to now understand the post-schism position as to how we interpret these people after reading them and understanding them. So the first thing that I would obviously recommend is St. Photius, the works of St. Photius. Okay, especially the mystagogy of the Holy Spirit. It's absolutely essential.
Bryce, what is your Discord's link? Like / what?
Discord.gg/BryceCord.
Yeah, Adam Schlosser. It's just Bryce Court, yeah. You realize all heresies come from the West, right? Are you talking to me? I mean, yeah, that would be the claim. I guess, bro. But I don't think it would be all from the West. I think there was.
His username is Mar Nestorius is Orthodox, so.
Nestorius is my saint. What?
The next work after St. Photius I recommend is the Syllogistic Chapters Against the Latins by St. Mark of Ephesus.
Yeah, I got you, Adam. Don't worry. God bless you, bro.
And then the letters by St. Mark of Ephesus. Understand general context of Florence.
No, you're good, Mark.
Contemporary by that point.
Wait, so he's not explaining what letters they are? What if it was just a letter to... I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
All of his letters that are compiled are letters that are regarding Florence, because he didn't start sending out letters to churches until during that time.
Can we do Against the Jews by St. John Chrysostom?
That's something you could read in your own time, bro.
Somebody recommended the profound bean based bean.
Next would be St. Nicholas Cabasilas. It would be On the Life of Christ.
Great book.
Fantastic work.
I know what the Church of the East is, bro. It's just like... It's so niche. I mean, unless you're like a Syrian, I don't think that you're ever gonna be in the Church of the East, bro.
Next would be To Peter of Antioch by Michael I Cellularius. This is actually the entire... Basically, this letter was sent out in 1054. This is the letter that specifically initiates the schism. That is the patriarch.
I've only heard of one person to say that they're discerning between Chalcedonianism and Assyrian Church of the East. Didn't even consider the Oriental division.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb.
All right, so after this, now, let's do some St. Gregory Palamas works.
Oh boy.
Do, EED targeted works.
Then we're gonna get into some Eugenius.
I already recommended one of those.
You gonna do more?
Ooh. Nah, not very many works from St. Mark of Ephesus survived. There's not a ton of things that you can actually read besides the syllogistic chapters in his letters. And
Homilies Against Purgatory.
Homilies Against Purgatory is one of the things, but that's an interesting one.
Yeah, because it's false, or I'm just kidding.
No, it's not that. It's just there's some fathers that come after him that kind of like don't really agree with it. St. Gennadios, for example, like didn't really agree with St. Mark's understanding of purgatory.
Really?
And he was literally his disciple, so that's why I'm just not recommending it, because it's kind of contended. So EED targeted works, I would always recommend the triads first, like St. Gregory Palamas. 150 chapters.
Where is John of St. Thomas? I don't recommend John of St. Thomas to anybody that's doing apologetics until like the 100th book, but I'm not gonna lie to you.
150 chapters on theology by St. Gregory Palamas would be next. Okay. And then the on the divine energies and their participation by St. Gregory Palamas. What's up, Sylvester? How you doing, man?
I think,
yeah.
Is dialogue barley might.
I would honestly recommend this first. So this is the Antiretics against Acandinos. That's a really big EED work. It's very large.
Yo, Bryce, which church father is most explicit in teaching the formal actual distinction? I think Saint Gennadius Scholarios, yeah.
Saint Gennadius is.
Scholarios, yeah. For sure.
He verbatimly says that the distinction is formally and actually in God.
Yeah, I think that would be the best. Just because, I mean, that man owned a Summa Theologica, bro. That man was a based Byzantine.
Against the.
If I was
sorry,
I was a Byzantine. You're good.
Let's see if there's anything else on here that's good for this specific section of St. Gregory Palamas. I mean, honestly, like, just in general, I would recommend his sermons. St. Gregory Palamas' sermons are huge. Okay. Now we're going to go back to St. Mark of Ephesus.
And then we go back to Blessed John and Scotus on the Immaculate Conception.
Against
and then
Manuel
I get
Calicus on essence and energies.
Where is essence, energies, distinction, apologetics, and argumentation and debate? What? Really, all you need?
That's in the Discord. That's my. That's,
all you
that's
need?
a paper that I wrote.
Truly, all you need, truly, is dialogue with Trifo and on not three gods, and you're fine. Really.
Next would be the Rule of Theology by Saint Nielos Cabasilas. That one's not easy to get, but it's in my server.
Boyven is a great Scotist. Absolutely. He's a great introductory Scotist. He will introduce you to a lot of Scotistic principles. I've read Boyven before. I like Boyven. He's very great. But I would not recommend him to someone that is Eastern Orthodox nor inquiring Eastern Orthodoxy. I would recommend him to someone that has a grand knowledge in Catholic theology and wants to introduce himself to Scotistic process philosophy.
So, after the Rule of Theology by Saint Nielos Cabasilas, you'd read Against Gregoris by Saint Philotheos Kokkinos.
You're going to read CRISPR. I personally do not attach myself to the Scotistic tradition. I am more aligned with Saint Bonaventure.
The next one would be On the Transcendental Trinity by Joseph Braionios.
CRISPR is good, though.
Joseph Braionios is the teacher of St. Mark of Ephesus, in case anyone was curious.
If you had to designate me under a specific school of thought, yeah, I would more specifically align myself with the Bonaventurian position.
After all of these ones, we're going to go ahead and step into specifically the contemporaries to Palamas. So now, right, you're going to read the works of these fathers. And I know that they're not easy to find, but they are acquirable.
Maestrius?
No.
Maestrius is definitely not the Eastern.
Theophany, yeah, Theophany. I think it's Theophanes, how you say that. Theophanes. But Theophanes, the third of Nicaea.
It's a very beautiful name. All right. Yeah, Bonaventure is more Neoplatonist. Scotus did not really follow his tradition. He introduced a more of a Aristotelian principle to St. Bonaventure's theology and kind of rejected his understanding of God and the Trinity.
The next one after Theophanes the third of Nicaea would be John VI Canticuzenos. He was the emperor during the Palamite Synods, and he has multiple works on EED. After that would be the works of David Dissipatos, who was a contemporary to Palamas. And then...
Sylvester, I've tried to acquire some of his works, but currently I'm just reading Bonaventure and attaching myself to him. I have like multiple I have all of his spiritual works, and I have multiple of his theological traditions.
Okay, and then the next one after David Dissipatos would be Neophytos Prodromenos. He's another guy that was around during that time. I think there was a couple accounts that he actually participated in the Palamite councils, but it's not totally verified.
I don't see Philotheos Kokinos.
He's on here against Gregoris right here.
Oh.
Next one will be Manuel II Palaiologos. So he was one of the emperors during those times as well. Or no, sorry, yeah. Yeah, he was around in the 1380s technically, so he wasn't technically a contemporary to Ptolemus, so I'll put a little bit of a thing there. He was around during the time of the fall of Constantinople, but it writes similar doctrine. All right. So yeah, all of those works combined, and then obviously like contemporary works as well, like common like modern works to help understand a lot of these people is also necessary, but you can find stuff like that elsewhere. I'm kind of just offering specifically just church fathers at the moment. Now we're going to do filioque targeted works.
I got to cover my ears.
De Trinitate by St. Augustine.
Yeah, I know, right? So the first one that I'm going to recommend for that is the 5 discourses on the procession of the Holy Spirit by Saint Neelos Kapasilos.
You guys wait. He's gonna send Saint Photius. Wait, I said Saint Photius.
I already put that up here. I just.
Oh my.
Then let me make sure that I actually. Also, that work up here on the Transcendental Trinity by Joseph Branios also includes things like that, and it actually talks about the distinction between the Son and the Spirit in our view, and how we use eternal manifestation to argue for that.
Yes, this will be posted in the Discord server.
Yeah, it will.
I did say Saint Photios. I'm not gonna say unfortunately. Never mind.
The next one is the Defense of the Tome by Gregory II of Cyprus. That's
what's your question?
Of somebody from Blackernay.
He's busy, Chris.
I'm a little busy at the moment, man.
He can't answer questions, but you can send a question. I'll try to answer between him typing.
Yes. Here we go. So the next would be the Apodictic treatises on the procession of the Holy Spirit by, where is it on there? I guess St. Gregory Palamas. It's a very large work. Okay. And then let me make sure that I got this on here. Oh yes, this is a big one. It's really nice. On the Procession of the Holy Spirit by Nicholas of Bethune.
If you murder someone but repent, can I still get into heaven? Yes. What's the problem with that?
Against the Latins by George Acropolita. He was slightly before the Council of Blackernay, so this actual work is specifically addressing Leon's 2. And
if I kill 100 people, yes.
Against the Latins by Manuel Moscopoulos.
God has such a mercy that the most disgusting, defiled person may enter the kingdom of heaven if they come to his grace.
Oh, also, sorry, up above in the EED section, let me add a couple things here real quick as well. So, all of Tome 3 by St. Gennadios Scholarios is massive. Okay. Against Aquinas by St. Gennadios Scholarios.
Oh my gosh.
He does have a word for that. So this work specifically, guys, he basically goes through De Ante et Essentia, specifically Excursus 93 and 94, and refutes the argumentation that is used to against our EAD position.
So Chris, we understand that we are born with such a defiled body, such a corruptible body, and such guilt that we actually deserve hell. We are creatures that are naturally immoral, and they're not ordered to the good. There are things that we can act in without the graces of God that can order us to a specific good, like giving away to charity without the intention of the divine will, right? But we are not ordered to the good insofar as that we are doing things in accordance with the divine revelation. You can do your other book. I'll answer. Hold on.
Chris is my homie, but he's not like that into theology and all that stuff. So you might have to like simple it down a little bit. It's like a little bit.
So essentially, the reason I'm gonna let Bryce finish this real quick, and
yeah, let me try to get through the list and all that. Also another thing from him is the commentary on the Summa Contra Gentiles by St. Gennadios.
Can you recommend the book for epistemology?
The Reason for Reason, bro. It's a good book. That's a good paper.
Offline, Reason for Reason.
The Reason for Reason. Finish this before the rapture. I'm trying, dude. All right, I got you. All right, all right. So now we're back to the Filioque Tardigrade works. My bad. Tome 2, all of Tome 2 by St. Gennadios Scholarios. That is a very large work. Just warning you right now.
Shouldn't Adam Sawernikov be like first in here?
No, I don't really think so. I'm gonna put him in here though. But on the procession of the Holy Spirit from the Father alone, Adam Zornikov. That is a very, very good work. It's 1,100 pages though, so have fun with that one. Okay, make sure that I'm not missing any specifically just for this topic here. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into the hard Filioque works. I just want to let you know right now that these works are quite nuts when it comes to the depth that is gone into. Okay, so now the works of Matthios, right? Angelos Panarentos.
Yo, Matteo mentioned.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so against Thomas Aquinas on the soul.
What?
Soul analogy. All right.
What?
There's an analogy he uses for the Filioque, and he uses basically the faculties of the soul.
Okay. I thought there was something else being brought up here.
No, this is just back to the Filioque Tardigrade works. So this is specifically just addressing Thomas Aquinas' argument using the soul analogy for the Filioque.
Does any of the fathers address the argument that Scotus offers that the Holy Spirit is delivered by fecundity? You notice how I said it right?
Yes, I'm about to bring that up.
Okay.
On the 24 absurdities of the Latins. So those two works are very heavy. I just want to let you guys know that right now. It's very, very harsh and deep.
24?
Yeah. And then
only 24.
Letter to Nicholas the German and Saint Maxim the Greek.
Back to your question.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be posted like right after the live or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right after the live. And then after that, yes, now we're going back to St. Gennadios. So all of Tome 2, of course, but then a specific work to target actually is against the arguments of the Scotists by St. Gennadios.
There's no way, bro. He's putting the church on his back, bro. Holy.
Yeah, he goes specifically through the psychological analogy and the there is no contradiction of the sun possessing spiration type argumentation that the Scotists use, and he writes about 150 pages on that.
Dude, Scholarius is the genius of the Orthodox Church, bro.
He wrote a lot. He wrote all of his tomes combined is like probably easily over like 8,000 pages almost. It's pretty ridiculous. Okay. Now we're just gonna get into basically just some like niche works after you've actually established yourself with everything else. This is the final section. Okay, there's not gonna be like a bunch of these, but I am gonna give these. These are like a lot of people online joke of them as quote unquote underground Palomites, but it's because they usually write about more niche topics rather than, you know, the major stuff like EED and Filioque and whatnot. So first off would be on the primacy of the Roman Pontiff by Saint Neelos Cabasilas.
They ain't never released a book on William of Ockham, bro.
No, I don't think they really cared about him too much. Your own church declared him as a heretic, so the Eastern Orthodox is like, yeah, whatever.
They never released one on Saint Bonaventure. That's the issue.
Yeah, it's kind of like how we don't have very many fathers that actually like refuted the doctrine of agnoite, because that was something that arose in the Monophysite Church and was actually anathematized by them already. So the Eastern Orthodox is like, yeah, whatever. I don't really need to refute those people. I mean, even the freaking Monophysites think they're heretics.
No, you can't be the Saint Bonaventure though. The seraphic doctor.
All right, so yeah, we got On the Primacy of the Roman Pontiff by Saint Neelos Cabasilas. On the Soul After Death by Saint Gennadios. Talks about toll houses here. On the Abandonment of Jesus by Saint Gennadios.
Yeah, it's a Discord GG / Bryce Court flies.
A commentary on Aristotle's Three Parts of Logic by Saint Gennadios Scholarius.
Yo, do you actually have that?
Yes, I do.
Send that to me.
Okay.
Bro, someone's complaining because only 5% of all these works are in your Discord.
If you could send them via TikTok or some other source, because you already know.
So most of these works, by the way, of Saint Gennadios are all combined into tomes. They're not separate works. On the Origin of Human Souls by Saint Gennadios Scholarios.
Is he a dualist? A hylomorphic dualist?
So I think a lot of people don't know that Bryce went to Greece. He went to like a monastery and took a picture of all these works and then had ChatGPT translate them.
Yeah.
So if y'all aren't willing to put in that work,
some of these works that I have read, I will admit, probably aren't in the server, and that's usually because they were sent to me like as a DM, and then I read it, and then I forgot that I read it, but then I have notes from it, from when I read it, and now I don't know where the PDF is anymore, if that makes sense. So, like, if there's something that you can't find, I bet I can find it for you. I'm in multiple servers that people like to share niche shit. So, I mean, like, and then the works of these people are next. These are, so a lot of people don't get to read stuff like this. And if you want to be able to read these works that I'm about to give you, you're basically going to have to go to one of those sites that translates the Paulogia Graecos, like scholarios.graeca.org. That's a site that you can use for that, where you can actually live translate the Paulogia Graecos and
Yeah,
read it
that was
in
good
a
too.
imperfect way, but you can read these people in that way. So first off is John the Deacon. So the reason why that this era now matters is because these are the Eastern Orthodox fathers that are literally directly after the schism. A lot of people they try to read people from the East during the time of the schism, but you have to remember there was kind of like a slight dark age that occurred in the Orthodox Church. After the schism happened, a lot of the apologetics became very quiet for a while, up until about Blackernay, which is when things got ramped up and got hardcore again in the Orthodox Church. But these are some of the people that you're capable of reading that were in the Eastern Communion pretty much directly after. Okay. Simonas, Bishop of Gaza. This is 1050 AD. So these people write about a bunch of various different topics. They're just good to read because they give a perspective, right? Next would be Mike. This guy is unconfirmed if he's a heretic. Just so you're aware, so be careful with this guy. He had a very weird view on matter. There's some of his works that kind of like point towards him believing eternal matter, but he's good to read for historical context of his what he was in communion with during that time. So be careful. I'm going to say possible heretic, but we don't know because his works, he didn't have a ton of large works for that. Okay. Theophylact of Orid. Pretty much just all of his works. I mean, he's great. 1090 AD. Philip the Solitary. 1100 AD.
Mhm. All right, Bryce. I think we're gonna head out, bro. God
All
bless
right,
you
bro.
too.
God bless.
Yeah,
God
me too.
Yeah, you're
God
good.
bless.
God bless.
Good
Euthemius
night.
Zagabanus, 1100 AD.
May Mary keep you all.
Thank you, brother.
God bless.
And then the final thing that I have read recently, and that's why I'm going to put it on here now, is the works of Eugenius Vulgaris. De Deo Uno. De Deo Incarnatione. I think that's how you say that. And De Deo Creatione. Right, so, on the incarnation, on the one God, on creation. All right, this guy is from the 16 to the 1700s, so he is pretty later on. He's one of the Enlightenment era Orthodox Christians that you can read. And then finally, now I want to warn you right now, this guy's view is not exactly accepted when it comes to his argumentations for God. He believes that all argumentations for God using reason is bad, so he's basically a fideist. But he does have a really good work called On the True Happiness, the Basis for All Religion. And this guy, in case you guys didn't know, is the teacher of Eugenius Vulgaris. So, the 1600s. And that's pretty much my list of like what I've been getting into. Honestly, I have a lot more things on here that I've read, but this is kind of like a good track of things to kind of like read in an order, a general order.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Hey, Bryce J, I get baptized and chrismated on Holy Week, bro.
That's legit, bro.
Can't believe it. I think I'm gonna head out too. God bless you. God bless everybody.
God bless, man.
Hope you'll have a good, rest of your Lent. Good Lord's Day tomorrow. All right,
man. Let me post this in the Discord server, and then I'm also going to be dipping out. All right. It's posted in the Discord server. Okay, yeah, you can come up real quick, John or Dom.
What up, Jake?
What's up?
What up, man? Real quick, because I'm at work, I'm not even going to keep you. I know you about to go as well. But those works that are filioque targeted, do you have all of those in the Discord, or can I get those?
Some of these I don't have in the Discord, but I possess all of these.
Okay, if I could get those in, because I've been so locked in, like really locked in. I had Jason admit, or say, not admit. I had him say that the Father can be the Father without being a primordial cause.
Yeah, I heard him say that. I saw the video.
Yeah. I'm so locked in right now when it comes to this video. Great. I would love it if I can get those sources for me just to amp what I'm already building up.
Sure thing.
I appreciate you, bro. God bless, man.
God bless. All right, I'll catch you guys later, man. Appreciate the stream today. It was really nice. It was really fruitful. Watched a couple reaction videos, had a little fun, and talked about works to read for theology. So stuff was very productive today. There wasn't a bunch of crazy demons coming up here and trying to debate about stupid stuff. I appreciate it, y'all.